What is up, everybody? Welcome to Clash Royale League Asia. We are here, week 6, day number 2, and we are getting down to the closing and time of this season, the regular season before we go into the playoffs. I'm Paper Thin. With me is Ending Life, and Ending, each of these teams only has 3 more matches to play before the playoffs begin.
Wow, it's already that time of the year where only these teams have 3 games left. But yeah, we have had a lot of games going back and forth, and obviously by now we have kind of solidified position in each respective groups. However, the 3 games, if a team that's at the bottom right now still is able to somewhat win 2 or even 3 games in a row that's left, they still have a chance to climb up the ranks. So it's not over for them, even for the teams that are all the way at the bottom. So the last 3 games, as Paper Thin mentions, these are the most important games.
Yeah, since 4 teams out of each group make it to the playoffs, there's still a chance for some of these teams, and there's a lot of on the line as well, because if you get first place, right, you get a bye to the semis.
Yep.
If you get second place in your group, you get a bye to the quarters. So those 2 spots are really coveted. Third and fourth, if you get third or fourth in your group, then you got to fight all the way through many different matches to get to the finals. And then to win it is just really difficult to do.
Exactly. So, yeah, he just laid out the priorities for these teams. First, you get all the way to the semi. However, for the teams that are in the middle of the pack or even at the bottom, their goal obviously is first, but their bigger goal is to just get into that top 4, to just even get the chance to play for to go to the semis, to go to the quarter, to go to the grand final. So we'll see what happens within the next few weeks that we have left.
Yeah, and I tell you what, we've got some really, really good matches today, and I'm really excited for the very last match. But quickly, let's take a look at these group standings here and talk about these a little bit. So Game With, the only team that only has 1 loss, they're 7-1. And they are really, 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 really good. And we've been seeing that across the board, this team is really strong. Rollaporan and KK do very, very well for them in 1v1s. And of course, Yakitori and Yuihiro are quite strong at 2v2, so a very well-balanced team. Bren we saw win yesterday. Or I'm sorry, on Thursday, not yesterday. So let's look at the bottom, though. So teams like Kingzone and Sandbox and Detonation, they're still very much in this.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And, for both groups that are at the bottom, we just talked about it. 3 wins straight somehow, they can still make it into that top 4. It's not top 3 or top 2. It's top 4 out of the 6. So, for people that only have, or for teams that only have 2 wins at the bottom, they can still make themselves get into that top 4 to play and to get into that, quarterfinals at least.
Yeah, exactly. So this is really big stuff here. The whole season matters. All right, Detonation, a lot on the line for them, and Kicks as well. Detonation just looking to try to get into the playoffs somehow. Kicks looking to try to usurp Ponos as the number 2 spot in Group B. So big moment for them there. OP.GAMING and OG&Entis. OP.GAMING, similar kind of situation to what Kicks is in. They want to get into that second place, and it's going to be difficult because they're a little further apart from Bren Esports than Kicks is to Ponos.
So basically right now for Group A, we have Game With versus Bren Esports for that first place position. For Group B, we have Chaos Theory and Ponos. And for both the teams, the middle of the pack is pretty similar, but for Group B, it's insane. We have 2 teams, Ponos and Kicks, that's at 5 wins, 3 losses. OG&Entis and Fav at 3 and 5. So it's very close. However, this team on your screen right now, Detonation Gaming, Hanehane, Lewis, Parameki, Raya, and Tempura. This is one of those teams that have to win today.
Yeah, this is do or die for them, no doubt. I mean, because like right now, you're 2-6. The next closest team above you, Talon, is 3 and 5. So definitely doable if Talon also struggles. But Talon looked pretty good yesterday. They ended up winning It went to the King of the Hill, but SB played out of his mind and really did well for them. And this team here wants to get that second place, get one of those coveted buys. Onion, Meat, Malenton, Legend, Lampo, and Dio Stitch. And we saw somebody on stage that we haven't seen yet other than one King of the Hill game, Lampo.
Yeah, Lampo.
Yeah.
It's been a while, obviously, because he hasn't played many games, but Lampo coming back here a little bit late when each and every single game is very important. Feels like, you know, Malenton loves saying this, you know, we have a secret weapon. Because we were talking about how Onion did so well, and we were calling him the secret weapon. I guess they had a secondary one. Now we have Onion on stage as well as Lampo.
Oh boy.
So they had a secondary secret weapon, I guess.
Well, they've got all these secret weapons.
Yeah.
I mean, Malenton and Dio Stitch are quite good at 2v2. You know, they're not the best in our league, but they're up there.
Oh, yeah.
They're definitely up there. And they have so many good 1v1 players, whether it be Lampo, Onion, or Legend, that are just really, really strong. And Meat's no slouch himself. You know, he's played a couple King of the Hills for them and done okay. But there we go. We do get to see Lampo in the 1v1 set against Rhea, so that's really exciting. Of course, I think if people remember way back to last season when we got to see Lampo's debut, he beat Expo Master, or at least almost beat him. I think he beat him in the 1v1 and ended up losing to him in the King of the Hills. But anyway, he had a big performance to start with, so he's very capable of going up against top-tier players.
Yeah, we'll have to see. And we do see the bands, Tornado, Giant Skeleton band. The Tornado, yeah, you know, we don't even need to say the band. You guys can see it for yourself. But the Giant Skeleton band in the 2v2, yeah, it's okay because Pyrameki and Hane, I guess they're able to utilize that card very well. So it's understandable that Malenton and Dio Stitch banned it, but also coming from Rhea for that 1v1, that Ram Rider ban is trying to get rid of it because we've been seeing a lot of that as well.
It's a very popular card in the meta right now. The P.E.K.K.A variant, there's some other ones floating around there that don't have P.E.K.K.A as well. Like I've been seeing Ram Rider with like Furnace and Lumberjack, Baby Dragon, that kind of thing. So yeah, I think definitely the Giant Skeleton ban is targeted here because Pyrameki and Hane really like that card and are really quite skilled at using it. They won their 2v2 against Ponos with the 2-0 the last time they did it. So definitely I think that's part of the reason you ban it. Plus just it's a really strong card in the 2v2 meta right now. So kind of opens up the door for some other strategies here. Without having Tornado and Giant Skeleton available, it forces you to play defense a little bit differently because you can't just get all these units grouped up and smother them with either the death damage from the Giant Skeleton or spells or something like that.
Yeah, so now on screen we do have Malenton and Dio Stitch kind of fist pumping, giving them the thumbs up. We'll see how well they'll do because Detonation Gaming, they're 2-6. Kicks, they're 5-3. So if you lose to a 2-6 team and you bring them up and you bring yourselves down, it's just going to make your life or your team's life much harder for your group, for your team to climb up in that group.
All right, well, we are ready for our first game of our 2v2 set, Kicks versus Detonation Gaming. And I think for Kicks, like, part of the thing is, it's like, yeah, you're 5-3 and you set yourself up quite nicely to go to the playoffs, but if you lose out the rest of the season, you actually are in danger of not making the playoffs.
Yeah,
you have like one more win and you're pretty much guaranteed. All right, Lava Hound coming down here with an Inferno Dragon. Yeah, Skeleton Barrel. We've seen Malenton and Dio Stitch use this from time to time. They are one of the 2v2ers that like to use that Skeleton Barrel. Forces out a lot of counters to it. Like you have to use like a snowball and waste some spells on it. So
this time around, that Infernal Tower is going to get the job done here to get rid of the Infernal Dragon and the Lava Hound. Only the poison damage basically going into the top left, but now we have that counterattack coming with the Minor Prince and the Ewiz Double Guard.
Yeah, Double Guard's a very good job with that. That should buy them enough time here. But there's been some damage done here because of those miners.
Yeah, and the miners just keep coming in with the Tornado ban. It's not surprised to see the miner just constantly go each and every corner and just chip on that brick.
That Baby Dragon locked onto the miner, and that allowed a lot of damage to be done to that Lava Hound. So a miner of their own here. The poison is out. The guards are down as well. A Skeleton Barrel to distract that Baby Dragon long enough so that it doesn't lock onto the tower or something near the tower where it might get that splash damage.
All right, that one Baby Dragon is pretty healthy, so That's gonna not lock on wood. The EU is coming down.
You're ready for it, and then they're like, nah, EU is
not gonna lock on.
Yep, not gonna happen. All right, a much healthier Lava Hound coming across the river this time. The miner in the back. Immediately, the Inferno Tower is placed down. What will be the other answer here? A lightning this time coming down to help neutralize that Inferno Tower a little bit, but it is able to do all of its damage to the Lava Hound, and now it's into the pups.
All right, so we had that Mega Minion in the back as well, so it's going to do quite a lot of damage to that Prince, so that Prince is going to go down super early. We have that offensive poison, so now, right now you can tell that Kicks, they're building up to do the chip damage with the miner and the poison as well as the log to just finish that Princess Tower off while defending the Lava Hound just with everything else, like the Inferno Tower being put down.
Right, and they're trying to sneak in a Prince or a Dark Prince as well if they can, but good defense so far from Detonation Gaming to prevent any of that from happening. An Ewiz coming down here to distract the Inferno Dragon, the baby dragon, the very not healthy pup that's left, but now we're getting close to the sudden death. Let's see if they've got this. This is really, really close. It's a rocket. Oh my gosh, will there be enough time to do the damage?
Goodness. Well, the miner
just not. Woo.
Wow, that surprise rocket. I was like, ooh.
Love it.
Because it was 300 versus 328, so I was like, all right, so what? How are they gonna do this? Who is gonna be? You know, I was thinking Detonation, they were gonna just bridge spam the Lava Hound and the Baby Dragon to just push through, so it forces Kicks to defend.
Right.
But they had something else in mind.
And then you're just a lightning and another spell away from finishing off that tower, but just not able to get it into cycle. That rocket proves to be the bit difference in this one. Well done by Kicks here. Just like you said, a lot of minor poison, you know, kind of chipping damage, playing good defense. You know, there was one time where the pups got a decent amount of damage done onto their tower, but for the most part, they were able to defend quite nicely. And there you go.
All right.
Knock time.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Kicks, they definitely had, they did what they had in mind. So it kind of worked out for them. You know, they had the Scale Barrel to kind of distract, and kind of, when they split push with the Scale Barrel, it forces Detonation Gaming to at least put 1 or 2 units down to defend that, and that distracts as well. For Kicks, it's not a waste. It's actually a very good distraction to split or either, you know, take the attention away from the Baby Dragon. And as long as they get the minor chip damage with the poison, they knew they had the rocket. They knew that they just needed a certain amount of damage to be done to that Princess Tower.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into game number 2 here. This is our 2v2 set. I think an interesting thing about the Skeleton Barrel is that it forces you to have a unit and usually a spell as well to deal with it, because you don't want it to get to the tower and do its death damage, and then you got to deal with the skeletons that come out. Now there are some units that you can use that deal with it one-on-one, but they oftentimes cost more elixir as well, so it's kind of a valuable unit sometimes. It trades well.
Definitely, yeah, it's definitely a good trader. It's a merchant. But alright, we have that Royal Giant and the Infernal Tower to answer to that Royal Giant. So right now, Kicks just getting a little bit of a taste of what Detonation Gaming has brought. Yep,
Hog Rider up on the top right now on the other side. The Lumberjack is there to hack it down, but it does get a couple swings in, so a bit of early damage being done here by Detonation Gaming.
Oh, the Lumberjack gets through, gets one swing in. Not good enough, but now we have the Mega Minion and the Inferno Dragon going through. The Ewiz is going to be more than enough to take care of both of them with the Princess Tower's backing.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, this time around, Detonation Gaming, they've brought out that Hog Rider Cycle deck instead, so we'll see how this works out here.
Yeah, I think their objective here is to just keep Kicks on the back foot the whole time. Just able to get that Inferno Tower down in time, and Earthquake comes in as well. It does prevent the Hog Rider from getting any hits in, but they do take a little extra damage from that Earthquake. Musketeer will clean this up. So it's Kicks is, you know, they got to find a way to get that Royal Giant across there.
It feels like Kicks and Detonation Gaming kind of switched the style of play. So in game 1, Detonation, they were the one with the Lava Hound and the heavy slow deck, and Kicks were the minor
Okay, the Inferno Tower is locked onto the Lumberjack first, but there is enough defense here with the Bats and the E-Wiz to get the Royal Giant as well. So on the back foot here a little bit is Kix. Another snowball to back these units off and do a little extra damage to the tower.
Yeah, so Detonation Gaming now, they're on the side of Kix in Game 1 as Kix were in Game 1. They have to just constantly force them to put down the Inferno Tower, send the Hog Rider, and use that Hog Rider Earthquake chip damage to get rid of that HP on that Princess Tower. But right now, Kix doing a pretty good job of keeping Detonation Gaming busy.
Yep, they're saving this Inferno Tower. There is an offensive poison. There's the Inferno Tower. Wipes out the first Hog Rider, but here comes the second one. The E-Wiz there as well. That had to take a really long path to get to the tower. It does get a hit in, but a lot of damage being done with those spells in the meantime as well. And they need to find a way to get these Royal Giants healthily to the tower to lock on, and they just aren't able to find it.
And the Inferno Dragon right away is a huge deal, especially when they use a lightning and didn't actually reach because the dragon was so far away, and this one does not look great. We have that freeze coming through.
That'll be it. Yep. Detonation able to take game number 2 here and force a deciding game 3. It's interesting because Detonation Gaming has an Inferno Tower and an Inferno Dragon.
Yeah. And
that's really bad news for the Royal Giant because even though they have a lightning, you can't really deal with both of them because of the way they're placing them, right? They're placing the Inferno Tower in the middle, the Inferno Dragon on the right, and so you can't reach both of those with that lightning spell.
Exactly. So whether they put it separately or even if Detonation Gaming, they could have just felt like staggering them. So Inferno Tower first, so they lightning it and then put down the Inferno Dragon, or vice versa. So, you know, you're correct. Either way, Kix, they were gonna have a hard time either way. So, you know, and Kix on the other hand, they had the Inferno Tower, but Detonation, they were prepared with the Earthquake as well, so the chip damage that's constantly going through. So it wasn't actually looking great for Kix from the start.
Yeah, with that Earthquake and the Hog Rider, it melts down that Inferno Tower pretty quickly, much faster than a Royal Giant will, because the Royal Giant just shoots so slow. He is so slow, but if he does get onto you, he hits pretty hard. So let's see what Kix does now. Maybe they'll go back to what they tried in the first game, something more similar to the minor poison chipping with the skeleton barrels and the princes, or are they just going to try something completely different again for game number 3? Because that deck was very different than what they did in game 1.
Exactly, they kind of swapped each other's decks from heavy to light.
Alrighty, game 3 between these two teams, the deciding game for this first set, and we'll see what happens. They're waiting now for their elixir to be there. There we go. Okay. Yep. Got a Dark Prince here with a Musketeer. So we'll see what Kix.
But the Musketeer is gonna get constantly pushed.
Yes, look at how fast she goes.
She got that extra boost. Nitro is on.
Yep. All right. These guards do prevent any damage coming through outside of the poison.
Alright, they might get a poke at it. I think it's tower here. Ooh, yeah, perfect.
Just in time. Yep. Hog Rider once again. This time just bats.
Oh, okay. They're gonna go giant double Prince deck here with the lightning.
This time though, the lightning is good because of the placement of that tower. So now we're gonna get a couple big swings in here from our giant.
I think it got 3 swings in, but wow.
That's
with
huge.
With the lightning damage, look at that Princess Tower HP. It's under half, it's under 50% already, so that's a great push coming through. However, now that Detonation Gaming knows exactly what they're going for, they might just have you know, the units and the cards hidden away to defend it, and they already shown that Infernal Tower as well. So.
Yeah, this is going to be difficult for them though because of this early advantage that Kix has taken. Usually in these 2v2s, you know, sometimes we'll see them come back with some crazy strategies, but now they're split pushing because they know they're already significantly ahead, and now they got to force them to defend, and the Prince is on the tower.
The Prince is on the. Oh my goodness! The Dark Prince gets rid of the guards perfectly in 2 shots.
Couple big swings from the Giant as well. He isn't One Punch Man today.
Yeah.
He is Many Punch Man. And
oh my
gosh.
Goodness. Everything's just connecting and connecting.
Everything is falling apart here for Detonation Gaming. They look completely flabbergasted. They don't know what to do. And their King Tower now at half health.
Oh my goodness. Are we going to just see a straightforward 3-crown game here?
You don't see this very often in
Yeah.
2v2, where a team just wins like this.
Yeah. Now they can just put down like 2 giants on either side and kind of let it push through and just lightning and spell damage.
Yeah. No, they can just spam stuff at this King Tower and probably win. I mean, they got to play defense, of course, but they're so far ahead that this is nearly impossible here for Detonation Gaming.
Yeah.
With only 15 seconds left and one of the Princess Towers at full health. Not what they wanted. And there you go.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know, this isn't even. It's already done.
This was done about a minute ago.
It's already done.
Well
GG.
played. That is one of the more one-sided 2v2 games you will see in competitive Clash Royale.
That was.
He's got the pause button.
Yeah.
I love their little after game
Yeah.
celebrations. They're like maybe my favorite thing.
Yeah, they have some fun celebration ceremony here. But
Yeah.
yeah, congrats to Kicks. Even though it wasn't a clean 2-0,
Right.
But that third game just showed us that they were dominant over Detonation Gaming, at least in game 3.
Yeah, they just had all the right answers
Yeah.
there. I mean, great lightnings to deal with those Inferno Towers, and I think in this case, because you've got the Prince behind it as well, it's much harder to defend with just an Inferno Tower and maybe an E-Wiz or something.
Yeah.
You need a little bit of extra something there. And this was the first game where the rocket, the last second rocket here, well, almost last second, ends up being the difference in this one. The miners not in time.
Yeah, so the first game was actually pretty close.
Very close.
Yeah, the rocket was a surprise rocket, but if it wasn't for that rocket, like, it was super close. It was like 28 HP difference. And this second game, it still questions me because they, Kicks, they did so well with the cycling deck. They swapped into a heavy deck and they lost.
Right.
So, you know, like, if they stayed with the cycling deck, I think it would have been a closer game in game 2 as well.
Right.
But yeah, unfortunately, it wasn't.
Yeah, they tried the heavier Royal Giant thing, and then this time they're like, all right, well, let's just do Giant double Prince, and that's a defensive freeze being forced out there because of how desperate this situation became. Having the Musketeer behind this as well to clean up the Mega Minions and the E-Wiz is really, really efficient. It does so much damage so fast and mows down those single target units.
That, it just came to my mind. So Kicks, in game 1, they played lightweight, right? Like cycling. In game 2, they played the heavyweight.
Yeah.
And then it's like, all right, light worked, heavy didn't work, let's go midweight.
Midweight.
Like Giant Prince, right? Like, it's not like super heavy, but it's kind of heavy. It's like midweight. But
Yeah.
it did work for them. But now moving on to game 2, the 1v1s.
Yeah, so this is Rhea here going up against Lampo. This is kind of do or die time for Detonation Gaming. This is actually maybe the most important game they'll play. So I am really looking forward to this one. What does Rhea have for us? And he brings a lot of strange decks.
Yeah, he definitely does. One of the cards that he actually loves is a bowler. So he's been playing the Giant Bowler Miner deck in the past. He's also played, Ram Rider Bowler Flying Machine.
Yep.
So he's actually made different combinations of the bowler, like trying to bring it back. And, you know, other cards like, for example, Royal Giant, E-Dragon Lightning kind of decks, so like Super Lightning deck with the to support that Royal Giant as well. So yeah, Rhea, he's been going all over the place. Like, he's played the Cycle deck with the Scale Barrel as well in the 1v1.
Yeah, he's a player that's hard to predict what he's going to do, and that makes him hard to play against. He is even in his 1v1 sets. He's 3-3, but he's won more games than he's lost because he's 2-0'd a lot of times. All right, here we go. This is the first game here. It's all on the line for Detonation right now. This is so important for them.
But now we have Lampo, a surprise secret weapon. We'll see how well he does. He's only one Q in the hills. So,
all right, looks like we've got the Earthquake Hog Rider deck here from Lampo.
but nowadays it's just, you know, when you see a Hog Rider, like most of the time we'll see an Earthquake paired with it.
Yeah, Earthquake seems to be the popular choice for it, especially because Inferno Tower is so common these days as well. And we will see what else Rhea wants to do here in Ice Golem.
Alright, so But anyways, so like the funny thing is when you pair that Earthquake with the Hog Rider, and your opponent doesn't have any buildings, that happens sometimes. And like the person holding the Earthquake ends up just holding it and not using the Earthquake.
Right. Good defense there by Rhea, though.
Yep.
Very good. Basically didn't take any damage except from the Earthquake there because of his ability to get the Hog Rider kited off to the other side with his snowball placement, and that puts it right into that Musketeer's range. And, I mean, the Musketeer was in range anyway, but that way it doesn't go onto the right-hand tower there where you just got the Earthquake damage. So you're spreading the damage around just a little bit.
All right. Now, you know, we're seeing a lot of bar barrels, and in 2 days, in the update, the bar barrel will get that small nerf. So we'll see if that'll still, you know, keep constantly coming out in this, at least in Clash Royale Asia.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's going to change too much. Okay, the balloon here, the last card up Rhea's sleeve, but there is an Inferno Tower from Lampo, of course, as well.
Yep.
And that will successfully defend it. And I don't even believe the death damage is going to reach the Princess Tower. No, it does not.
All right, so for now, Rhea's a little bit ahead, but, you know, I don't want to say that he's, like, way ahead. He's, you know, taking advantage because it's like only a couple hundred difference here. So right now, for both of these players, you know, it's still in the air, like, for the win.
Well, they're both just playing incredible defense.
Yeah.
There's just nothing is getting through for either player. These Inferno Towers get so much value. Even with the Earthquake from Lampo, it's not enough to break through. He's going to have to find a way to get some kind of slightly bigger push going. Now this time,
but
the
that
miner, yep, getting a lot of damage there. And this
is a
pretty healthy balloon.
Oh no, that drop. One drop. Oh my goodness, this is huge.
Just not able to get the defense down in time was Lampo. Now Rhea found his opening and made it work. 417 on that top right tower. So Earthquake comes down here as well, but once it, ooh, the Ram Rider or the Hog Rider might get through. It does. It gets a swing. Ram Rider's banned.
Yeah, it is banned. Nice snowball right away to predict the bats coming down, and that miner is having a blast. One more snowball cycle, and this is GG.
Yep, that's all we need here now. He's just cycling his cards, trying to get to it. Has to use the tower, but it goes down.
All right, so Rhea getting that first game, making it 1-0. Rhea definitely has to win, whether it be 2-0 or 2-1, because Detonation Gaming, if they don't come back in this 1v1, they don't even go to King of the Hill, and they're done for today.
Yep, so very impressive stuff here from Rhea. Doing a good job. Only one more win, and they could take it to the King of the Hill. And then we'll see how that plays out for them if they can get there. But he's still got 2 more games to beat Lampo. And just really good defense. Now, this is interesting here. You see that Barbarian soaks up a lot of that initial Inferno tower damage, and that's what allows that balloon to get in. Because once the balloon drops onto a tower like an Inferno Tower or a bomb tower, something like that, just melts it. Just goes down almost instantly because of how much damage those drops do.
Yeah, so that was actually a huge part that you mentioned, because if that Inferno Tower has locked onto the balloon and the Barbarian was, you know, healthy, it wouldn't have made a huge difference like it did with the balloon actually getting that drop and the death damage. So yeah, it's very unfortunate, but well played on the side of Rhea. He kind of knew what to do, because when he sent that bar barrel and the balloon in the front, we saw the miner go in the back. So either way, Rhea was gonna get somewhat of a chip damage getting through. Yeah, it was just plus alpha when the balloon actually got to the Princess Tower. So
yeah, if you can find the right timings to get that Barbarian barrel or the miner, or like in this case both, out in front of that balloon, that is really dangerous, because there's so much distraction for that balloon to buy a lot of time. And then you got to do something like drop the bats or whatever you've got in the background of the Musketeer, and hope that something else doesn't distract those as well, or if it's the bats, they're going to get snowballed. So it's tough stuff. Lampo opts to take a timeout here. They're going to talk this one over, and I think we'll probably see something a little different here from Lampo. Curious to see what kind of deck he wants to run next. That one was really, really close until the end there, where all of a sudden getting that balloon through, just huge for Rhea there.
All right, well, Lampo, he wants to make his 1v1 debut, and not be recorded it as a loss.
Yeah.
You know, he's taking that timeout, even though, you know, to be honest, Kicks already won that 2v2. So usually we see the losing team, if they start off with the loss, they take the timeout, and the winning team sometimes just saves it until King of the Hill. But this time around, it feels, you can tell that Kicks wants to just make it 2-0.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we will find out if Lampo can do this. Game number 2 starts now.
Yes, it does start now. It starts now.
Right now. All right, Lampo in the red, Rhea in the blue. Some Barbarian Barrel to start. Counter Barbarian Barrel.
Yep.
There's the Dark Prince here for Lampo.
Oh, gets actually the Barb actually gets a swing in this time, so Rhea's winning.
Oh, Graveyard.
Oh no.
Oh boy. All right, which version is this? There's a few skeletons getting some hits in.
This graveyard's actually a pretty good version. It's an updated version. they're spawning at a pretty good a raid here close to the Princess Tower. Got some swings in.
All right, we got the Royal Giant here. He is raged up, but the Furnace comes down to distract him. Now a Barbarian in front of it as well to try to get in here and help, but the E-Wiz is going to slow this up, but this is still quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, regardless of, you know, the Rascal Girls staying alive in the back, the E-Wiz coming down, the Furnace being put down, the Royal Giant being raged up with the Baby Dragon early on before it died. It helped clear out everything so fast that the Royal Giant got so many hits. Look at this, 1,600 already with just one push.
Yeah, that's a really good Royal Giant push. Lampo's Graveyard did okay, but that Royal Giant was much, much better. All right, just the Furnace coming down here. Immediately the Poison goes down as well. So kind of an interesting little variant on the Dark Prince Graveyard deck here, bringing the Rascals and a Furnace with it. A lot of times you might see something like Tombstone in there. Possibly, there's a few other variants as well.
I think Lampo wanted to put the Furnace down earlier so the Fire Spirits cancel each other out, but actually the Furnace took a little bit of damage. Here we go now. Once again, the Royal Giant push. The E-Wiz does come down. This time it won't get any swing in.
Good defense. And he's got the Barb Barrel as well here to distract that raged up Mega Minion who will end up getting taken down by the Princess Tower. So much better defense that time from Lampo, able to adjust his timings there and not letting that Royal Giant get any shots. The E-Wiz placement was very good as well.
Yeah, it was a perfect defense actually. He didn't take any damage because no spells being thrown by Rhea either. So perfect defense by Lampo. We'll see how he counters, because so far what we've been seeing is Lampo just defending and defending, right? So he has a counter back. He had that one moment with the Graveyard and the Poison out next to the Furnace, but other than that, Lampo actually hasn't made any offensive moves except for one.
Yeah, he's going to have to find a way to get some kind of offense going here, because in the end, Rhea, I think, has a little bit more firepower onto what's left here with these Lightnings coming down, you know, as well. They're getting a lot of value taking down the Furnace and another unit as well, whereas Rhea is only getting the Furnace with his Poison. So it's going to be really difficult here for Lampo.
It definitely is. Usually, if you're Lampo, right, you want to defend and keep some units alive to counter push with the Graveyard. But right now, Rhea is doing such a fantastic job. Even though when he attacked and the counter attack is coming, right, from Lampo, he clears everything up before they cross the bridge. So there's really no choice for Lampo to not, you know, to use the Graveyard. He can't.
Yeah, he's just on the back foot the whole time. There's just no way for him to get through here. They do slow up that Royal Giant. It does get one shot, though, and that's pretty big right now. That Mega Minion and the Baby Dragon get raged up, wipe out the Dark Prince. Now he's trying, but the Lumberjack is here to defend. Couple lucky skeleton placements there up on the top and bottom. Give him a little extra damage. Not bad. A nice timing there by Lampo to finally get something going.
All right, so here we go. Raged up early Royal Giant here. We'll see if this will get the job done. The Barb Barrel comes into support. It does get a shot, and it does get two, and the Lightning will be more than enough to finish this game.
Yep, and there we go. Rhea with a 2-0 victory in his set, forces King of the Hill and saves Detonation Gaming from possible disaster.
All right, definitely a 2-0 clean win, bringing us straight to King of the Hill. We'll see what happens here, because we're going to get some new, people that didn't play in the 2v2s, didn't play in the 1v1s to come out here. we're gonna get Tempura, I think. Maybe, possibly, we may see Meat or Onion. You know, we never know who will come out for the King of the Hills. But actually, yeah, Meat wasn't on the stand.
Yeah, Meat wasn't on,
so
so
it's definitely gonna be Onion coming
Yeah.
through from Kicks. But yeah, either way, Lampo, unfortunate. He was just constantly on the back foot, getting pushed to the corner by Rhea, and Rhea just knew what he needed to do because he saw the graveyard. He knew that he couldn't let any counter pushes after the defense come past the bridge.
Yeah, and it's actually a bit of a bad matchup for Lampo in that situation with Graveyard Poison because against that Royal Giant deck, there aren't those multi-units that are really vulnerable to Poison, like, you know, Goblin Gang or some kind of skeletons or minions, this kind of thing. Because what he has here for defense is Lumberjack and Baby Dragon, which are quite good at dealing with the graveyard.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, yeah, the deck was a little bit of a counter, I guess, like you say. But I still have to say, Rhea, he just knew what he needed to do. In the beginning, he took some damage from the initial graveyard, right? And then in the middle, he took a little bit more with the graveyard as well. So he was taking damage. It wasn't Rhea's perfect game, but Rhea still knew how to win the game by doing a little bit more damage, how to not take as much damage when the graveyard was placed down by Lampo. So yeah, very well played on the side of Rhea. He knew exactly what he needed to do, even with the deck that kind of countered Lampo.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, just because you have a deck that does counter it, you still got to play it correctly.
Oh, yeah.
So, okay, here we go. Pyrameki, Tempura, Rhea, and once again, they're not fans of the Ram Rider. They're saying no Ram Rider today for Kicks. Onion, Malenton, and Lampo coming down. And last time we got to see these guys in a King of the Hill, Malenton clutched it out with two incredibly close, really fun games that were really nerve-wracking. And I talked to him after that match, and he said he was so nervous that his hands were shaking really bad, and you know, he really wanted to win for his team, and he ended up doing it, and he was so excited. But he played really well, and so if they need to, they're gonna go down to Lampo in the third spot.
All right, well, we'll have to see, but let's hope for both of these teams' sake that, you know, they don't go to the last place, because that last place, Rhea versus Lampo, we just had it, and if this rematch does happen, we'll see how, you know, how well prepared Lampo is, because you see the Royal Giant band, you see the Ram Rider band. So yeah, the Ram Rider band was there already, but this time Rhea won't be able to use the Royal Giant as well. So maybe you know, it could play out a little bit different.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people on Detonation who really like to use the Royal Giant.
Yeah.
We've seen it a lot from them, not just Rhea, but other members as well. And I think that kind of makes sense that that's why they want to ban it. It seems like Kicks is more interested in taking away what the opposing team is good at with their bans.
Yeah. So let's see if this ban will work out. Pyrameki, his record, not bad, not good. 2v2 is just a 1-1. King of the Hill 0-2, so he definitely wants to win, you know, at least one round to kind of get rid of that 0.
He's got a tough opponent. Onion is 4-1 in his King of the Hills.
Yeah.
He's been really, really good. Now, he hasn't been good in 1v1 sets, but in King of the Hill, he gets it done.
So this kind of, just looking at the record itself, losing 1v1, his record being 0-3, it means, you know, he sometimes gets countered really hard. But having such a great record in King of the Hill, it means he's great with just the one-time deck, the surprise decks, or, you know, the super, how do you say this? Like, the sneak attack, or the cheese kind of thing.
Yeah, cheese,
so like, Onion definitely, I guess he's more fitting to be playing on this King of the Hill.
Well, cheese goes well with Onion, so we'll see if he's got anything like that.
Oh my, I did not expect that. I did not expect that one.
Oh, all right. Exciting game.
Wow.
Between these two teams, and now we're in the King of the Hill. Onion versus Pyrameki. So far, we're just going to leak a little bit of Elixir. We'll see if any of them... Okay, yeah. Minions here from Onion. That immediately makes me think something P.E.K.K.A., but we'll see. Same thing with Pyrameki. Need a Zap in there as well. And a Bandit. Oh, we might just be seeing a couple P.E.K.K.A., possibly Battle Ram decks here.
All right. Well, we both have the Bandits. To be honest, if it was any other guy, like if it was Rhea, like I wouldn't always like assume right away that it's a P.E.K.K.A. because Rhea brings out some unique decks. He kind of makes unique decks happen. But yeah, the P.E.K.K.A. has already shown that it's responded with the Pekka.
Yep, here we go, the Battle Ram, but the Musketeer is behind this, and that's going to add a little bit of extra damage to this push for Onion. It does get the charge into that Princess Tower. I think one of the Barbarians might have got one swipe in there as well, but that Pekka only used on the defensive side here. Now he's going to try his own push with the Battle Ram.
All right, here we go. Oh, it lands as well, so the Battle Rams are just going back and forth, landing, and the Bandit is going to be a quick response. No dash coming through.
Really good zap timing from Pyrameki, but now he's got some minions swiping away at it. They do some big damage if they're allowed to. He only got a couple hits, but that's a couple hits too many there.
Yeah, definitely too many. This time Onion definitely has the upper hand here. The counterattack back and forth. Onion definitely got a little bit more of an advantage here. This Dark Prince is not going to stop this Battle Ram from charging in. Oh my goodness!
Wow! That gets a lot of damage.
The Battle Ram gets a charge, and it gets rid of the Dark Prince, and it gets a swing each into that Princess Tower.
That is a really effective Battle Ram right there. Now he's forced to use this Pekka on defense against a Dark Prince and some minions, and that's going to be a very damaged Pekka when it crosses this bridge. Already, I think, under half health, it looks like. He's trying the split push.
Some mind games going on. This time the Battle Ram won't get to the Princess Tower. Barb will not get any swing.
Using the Battle Ram just to block another Battle Ram. They're so thin.
Yeah.
Great placement on that to keep that other Battle Ram at bay. There's the lightning here from Onion. So Onion's slight little changes, because Pyrameki's running the pretty standard. I'm assuming that's a poison at the end of this.
Yeah.
He's running the pretty standard Battle Ram, but Onion's bringing one that's a little bit different than what we're used to seeing in the traditional meta, and it's paying off.
Yeah, it definitely is. 5 seconds left, 200 HP left. The lightning will definitely do the job. Onion, the secret weapon, does it again.
Not really cheese there.
Yeah.
But it's a slight difference because, yeah, you're using Snowball instead of Zap, and that's kind of whatever. They're pretty interchangeable in a lot of ways. But then you got Lightning at the end of it instead of Poison, which is interesting because I guess he's assuming that his opponent, the reason he's bringing Lightning is that he's worried his opponent is going to bring a lot of single units.
Yeah, like Infernal Dragon or maybe even an Infernal Tower for defense. So, you know, that's a good call on the side of Onion.
Yeah, I really liked what he did here. This was a really, really smart play by him.
Yeah, so like you say, it wasn't like a cheese, but he made a slight change to, I guess, kind of surprise your opponent by different spells.
Yeah, the different
creating
spells.
Different kind of, effects.
It's really surprising, and having that Musketeer there as well to cover for the Battle Ram is really, really effective. As you can see, it does a lot. It does a good job of breaking that shield pretty quickly off of that Dark Prince. It's good against Ewiz, because Ewiz is busy zapping other stuff, and if it starts shooting that Ewiz, it's going to mow it down pretty quick. Yeah,
and I just saw in that highlight where Pyrameki was defending with just the Dark Prince against the Battle Ram and the Musketeer. I think Pyrameki should have put down the minions or something else, not just the Dark Prince, because even though, the Battle Ram gets the charge in, if you have the Musketeer in the back and the 2 barbs from the Battle Ram, your Dark Prince isn't going to defend all of the units. So you definitely have to support it, because I think that moment where the barbs get rid of the Prince, they get a swing, the Musketeer gets a shot in, that's way too much damage.
Yeah, the Dark Prince does okay single target damage, but it's there to, hit multiple units at the same time. And the Battle Ram starts out as 1 unit, and it's not enough damage to keep it from getting to that Princess Tower with that charge damage like you're talking about. So it's a bit of a difficult situation there for him, and a really smart deck design by Onion. But now he's going up against another type of food, tempura. We're getting more food matchups here.
Yay! I'm actually getting pretty hungry now.
I know.
And I just ate.
One of the producers here at OGN messaged me and said they've got some extra hamburgers. So
really?
Hungry, yeah, I can ask her.
Wait, when was this?
Just like right before it started.
Oh my goodness!
I can ask her to bring some if you want. that's my superpower.
Yeah.
All right.
Hamburgers.
Here we go. Onion versus tempura. Just the bar barrel to start out. Some bats here from Onion. So going to be something pretty different here from Onion. Ooh, double minor bat.
Ewiz.
Very good Ewiz.
So the E-Wiz was way better than just an Ice Golem that didn't even get the attention of the Miner. So
Right, right. The E-Wiz is a nice counter to the Miner because it changes the target no matter what, as long as you place it correctly.
Yep.
So a little bit better of a trade there for Onion, but not really that significant. All right, the Prince here. So some version of the Miner Prince, which means there's probably an Inferno Tower sitting in the back of this for Onion. We'll have to wait and see. He does like to change things up a little bit.
All right, great defense coming from Tempura though, because without that skeleton being put down, that Musketeer would have been dead. And you know, now Onion has to choose. Oh, am I gonna defend that Musketeer? There we go, the Bar Barrel. And now the Miner will get a couple more swings than it usually would have with the E-Wiz coming through.
Yep, definitely good timing there with the Miner, forcing the Bar Barrel to be used on the Musketeer because that's where the real threat is.
Yeah.
There, because you know, like you'll see this all the time with Miner decks where you're not just trying to get damage with poison, you're trying to use the Miner to tank for something coming behind it, like bats or minions, or in this case, a Musketeer.
All right, well, there we go. The Ice Golem crosses the bridge way too early, so it's gonna die before the Musketeer even gets close. So now Tempura probably gonna put down. Oh, he was gonna skeleton, but the poison comes down. So.
All right, the Miner.
Defensive Miner. Ooh.
Really good Miner placement here. Tempura not predicting it correctly.
Wait, did you see the Bar Barrel?
Yes.
The bar, yeah. So yeah, the prediction.
Yes. Tempura, had that been predicted correctly, that would have been great. All right, the balloon here for Tempura, and there is that Inferno Tower to counter it. Let's see if he can make this happen here. We've got the E-Wiz as well, but that Snowball's gonna buy this just a little bit of time. Does Onion have anything? It just doesn't get there, but right away,
wow,
both players trying to get something offensively going, and the Skeletons come down in time. The Inferno Tower just in time here.
Look at the Prince and the E-Wiz. It's gonna get this Prince's Tower down, whereas Onion gets that defense correct and keeps his Princess Tower alive.
Great timing with that E-Wiz that really slows up that balloon. That forces a Miner, but great Prince placement there.
Nice snowball.
To keep the Miner off of the E-Wiz. This is really well done by Onion. This is GG.
Yeah, it is.
He might even get that. Oh, he almost got the third.
Look at how fierce he looks. No. I said that because right after he won, he kind of glanced at Tempura's side with like intent to kill, kind of.
Man,
like
that's it. Like, that's intense.
Like, I know that he doesn't mean that, but like he just looks, you know.
Well, like, he's you know how when you're playing games and you're doing really well, and you're just feeling it. Yeah. You just like you get in this zone, and you're not trying to be a jerk, but you just feel so good. Yeah. And you're like, you don't want to lose that focus.
Yeah, you just keep that focus going. You know, you don't want to lose it. You don't want to like be serious while you're playing, and then after you're done, kind of laugh and smile and say, hey, and like it kind of gets like rid of the mood. So,
right.
Yeah, I totally understand.
All right, there is a timeout available here. I think Detonation still has theirs, but doesn't look like they're going to use it. Yeah, I thought they might use it there for a second because a lot of the players came up from the benches, but
that is true. Detonation, they do have a timeout. It feels like they don't want to. But either way, Raya is their secret weapon. He has been doing so well for Detonation Gaming to keep them in the game in the 1v1s and even in the King of the Hill. So, but his opponent now is Onion.
Yeah, this is.
Oh my gosh,
Onion is playing
so strong,
so well, so well. I'm curious to see if Raya's going to try something a little offbeat. You know, something that he does like to play kind of these non-standard meta decks. Although to be fair, these days in Clash Royale, there's so many different decks available in the meta, so to speak. I mean, like I've been writing down decks that have been seen in Clash Royale League Asia and across the other regions, as well as ones that I see winning the grand challenges, and I have. You know, like pages and pages.
And pages.
There's so many different variations now because of the awesome amount of variance and variability we have.
Yeah, you're gonna soon have to carry around like an external hard drive for it, just for the different kind of decks.
All right, here we go. Onion versus Raya. Raya once again trying to be the savior for Detonation Gaming. He's going to have to reverse sweep kicks though, and that is no easy task.
It definitely isn't. We'll see if Raya will you know, first get through the first gate of Onion because he has to peel that thing off.
It's a layer.
And nobody has been successful yet.
Nope. All right. The Prince and the Bandit are going to trade blows there, and now the minions come down, so that is a very dead Prince. Dark Prince here, so double Princes for Onion.
All right, so we can definitely expect that giant.
Probably,
Yeah.
but sometimes people have been using Graveyard
Yeah, that too.
with it, so, but usually it's giant.
Yeah, but we'll see. But the Prince does go down.
Now I'm
a slight small.
yeah, now it's probably giant with that U is there. We're almost certainly going to get the giant or maybe something else. There is occasionally a golem with double Prince that I see every once in a while, but that's so heavy and it's so hard to do that.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Ooh, this is going to get did get the charge there. That's big.
Nice,
Rhea.
1500.
This is fine.
Yeah, Rhea's mad. All right, and the minion gets a couple shots as well onto Onion's tower. This constant counter pushes coming through is just, oh my goodness, these players are amazing. Oh my goodness, the Barb's actually gonna get a lot of swings in.
Onion was content to let that trade happen that time. It looks like he was pretty low on Elixir, and I think he didn't want to expose himself there.
Yeah.
So I think he was happy, and now you know he gets a free couple swings from the Mega Minion there. You don't see that happen every day. Zap.
All right, Zap. Just to kind of irritate and provoke.
Right, there is the giant. Okay, this is the version we're gonna see. Oh. And immediately the P.E.K.K.A. is placed, and this is where it gets tricky for Onion, because he's got to find a way to keep that giant healthy enough to get to the tower, and that P.E.K.K.A. is not gonna allow that very often because of how much damage it does.
Look at this. The lightning
though.
The U is at least.
Defensive poison had to be used here to keep this at bay.
Yeah, so the thing is, if the defensive poison wasn't used and the giant was tanking the P.E.K.K.A. hits while the Prince gets rid of it, the Prince would have been healthy.
Right, this is a very dead giant.
Yep.
Tried the bridge spam, did not come through. I think Onion, he might just want to go back to just using the double Prince stuff and try to, you know, he's got a slight advantage.
All right, with the Bandit in the back end.
Ooh, the snowball. It's okay, but it's not enough.
The Barbarians. Yeah.
The Barbarians. The dash. Oh boy, now Onion is in trouble here. 479 left on that top tower, and now he's just going to let that Royal Ghost go through as well.
Yeah, free Royal Ghost. It's going to do a lot of damage. There we go. The E-Wiz does come through to try to kind of lessen the damage, and battle ramp on the other side. This time Prince and the bar barrel. All right, so this is a good defense on the right side. On the left, ooh, P.E.K.K.A. in between the E-Wiz.
Yep. This is going to allow, some big damage coming on the right-hand side, though. Two Princes just in time with that Royal Ghost.
Oh, and it's alive!
Oh my gosh, the E-Wiz being forced down there, but now up on the top left, that is a very healthy P.E.K.K.A. You're trying to slow it up with that E-Wiz, but he doesn't last long once the P.E.K.K.A. gets to him.
Yeah, and not enough Elixir, as you see on Onion. He's going to have to let that...
Oh my goodness.
He's just squeezing out all the units he can to defend this, and it's still not going to be enough.
No answer for that Barbarian up at the top except the Snowball, so it does get a hit in. 264 left here.
Poison Zap, it's over.
Yep. Okay, the Royal Ghost is going to get kited away by that giant. E-Wiz will be placed. A Prince here to fight that Royal Ghost.
Yep,
and there's the poison.
And
this is going to be enough here from Onion. He's got to try to get something going. But that Dark Prince gets distracted by the Bandit here. And there it goes.
Wow. All right, so Rhea, start of the reverse sweep.
Yeah, Rhea here looking so good today. 5 games. 5 games. He could win 5 games.
He could. Yeah, he could.
He's won 3. He might win 5.
Yeah.
He looks unbeatable right now.
Definitely. That was such a close game. In the beginning, even, like before both sides used the Giant and the P.E.K.K.A., like they were just going back and forth doing split pushes. I think that's the fun part of it, and then when the big units start to come to play, one small mistake is going to cost the game.
Yes, exactly. And in this case, it's just not an ideal matchup as well here because P.E.K.K.A. is so good against a Giant, and it just absolutely massacres it. And even though he's able to get that double Prince push over there, the Zap resets everything onto that Royal Ghost and buys him enough time. So really good use of his zap there. And it's just so hard with Giant because of that P.E.K.K.A. It's just so darn hard.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I started, like, ever since the P.E.K.K.A. is being used so much nowadays, like even in just regular games, I don't want to do Giant double Prince, no matter how good it is.
Right. It makes beatdown so hard to do. Whether that be a Giant, even a Golem.
Yeah.
It's you know, Royal Giant. You know, sometimes we see the Goblin Giant. It's very good against all those, and therefore it makes it hard. Now we do get the timeout here from Detonation, and it is up to Malenton now for Kicks, who's coming in as their second player. Onion did a great job taking 2 games, and now it's on this guy's shoulders. And I jokingly said to him before the cast that I want to see you in King of the Hill. Sorry, I jinxed him.
You jinxed him, and now he's in here. And I know that you were trying to force Malenton or any of players from Kicks to kind of play Sparky.
I know.
I wasn't
I tried to recommend it, but they don't like.
But you know,
they're not like Talon.
Obviously,
yeah.
They're not gonna.
I don't think he's gonna play Sparky.
But I wouldn't be surprised if Rhea brought out the bowler again.
Yeah.
Because he's been bringing out the bowler like early season, and he kind of stopped in the middle, and then he recently brought it out. I think maybe 2 weeks ago. So like, he's taking like big gaps and breaks in between. So he kind of surprises the opponent. Like mind games. Like, all right, so this guy has played the bowler at least 2 times in the past. Is he gonna bring it out again or not? Kind of thing.
Yeah,
especially in King of the Hill.
Right, and it's one of those units that you don't want your opponent to be aware that you're going to be bringing it. It's kind of like Sparky, where it's a surprise, and if your opponent doesn't have the right counters built into their deck, all of a sudden it becomes a real problem, and you just can't do anything about it because the unit is like, especially with the bowler, it's so tanky. It does splash damage. It has pretty long range with that rocket rolls.
Yeah.
You know, it's a surprise when it comes out because it's like you said, it's not used very often, and he's spacing out when he's using it.
Exactly. So we'll see what happens here. Rhea cutting off the momentum of Onion. Now Malenton is on the stand. But if Malenton loses, it's Lampo, that 1v1 revenge match from set 2. So we'll see if it'll go to that revenge match or if Malenton will finish it off here.
All right, here we go. Game number 4 of the King of the Hill. It is 2-1 in favor of Kicks right now. And this could be the last game we see, or will Rhea bring us to the rematch against Lampo? We'll try to get his revenge. Just some skeletons and a barb barrel here from Rhea. Flying machine from Malenton, so a lot of interesting stuff that could be. Usually we see it paired with a Lava Hound, but there's some other weird decks that bring it out every once in a while.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll see what kind of deck Malenton decided to bring out here for us here.
Miner comes down here for Rhea. There is a Lumberjack here from Malenton, so we'll see what exactly this is. Baby Dragon.
Okay. Baby Dragon as well.
Yep. And
well, until the Baby Dragon came out, like I've seen the Flying Machine go with the Royal Hogs as well for the split.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that a couple times this season, so I was thinking, but I don't know. Now with the Baby Dragon and the Lumberjack,
it's probably Lava Hound. But there's other stuff you can. Now Tombstone, now I'm like, okay, now this is really probably Lava Hound. A balloon here once again from Reyes, so he's dipping back into that well. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Nice.
Oh no.
Oh, the drop comes through.
So brutal.
Yeah, that one drop.
That hurts so bad. All right, only a Musketeer and some skeletons available for defense, though. This is really good because the Flying Machine is locked on.
Oh, look at that Flying Machine go.
Wow. A nice counter punch from Malenton there, knowing that Rhea was low on Elixir and able to take advantage of that with his own push.
Yep.
And that is a dead Ice Golem. One more skeleton's coming out, and then its brothers are coming out as well. All right, Baby Dragon.
Last week when Simon and I were casting, we just decided to call the bar barrel value barrel. Yeah, it's a value barrel.
It's like something you get at Walmart, man.
Value barrel. It does so much for so cheap.
I know.
Yeah.
All right, so the balloon behind an Ice Golem here with a Miner as well. coming down up in the top. So, okay, we have to use
Nice.
the tombstone to distract. That should be a dead balloon here.
Oh, no. The Princess Tower actually locked
Oh,
onto the
whoa!
at the miner, so that's going to actually get another drop plus the death damage. So right now, Raya looking great.
Yeah, but in the bottom right, while all that was going on, a lot of damage done by Malinton. Malinton, probably if that is in fact a Lava Hound in the back of this, he's finding a hard time using it because then Raya can counter with that balloon right away.
Oh my god, look at this counterattack coming through. It's huge. We have Flying Machine, Mega Minion, Baby Dragon, all raged up.
That Ice Golem, though, and the Skeleton's able to distract just long enough to buy him enough time, but he's going to get one.
Okay,
No, just one shot.
Yeah, but now it's split. Raya has to focus left, Malinton has focus right. Unless Malinton gets a huge counter push where it evens out the Princess Tower.
Yep, Raya tried to prediction barb barrel there onto the tombstone.
Oh!
Just not quite enough. Just not quite enough, but 240 there. So this has got to work. Oh my gosh, look at the bottom left. It's so close.
Oh my goodness.
Barely.
Malinton.
Just barely. Once again.
Wow. Oh. He does the hair.
Oh my God.
Goodness.
Malinton, once again, bringing us an incredible close matchup here in Clash Royale League Asia. Oh, Raya played it great today. All the credit in the
Oh my God, the hair flip is
all the credit in the world to Raya. He played great today.
Yeah,
really well.
I was looking at both sides and I was like, all right, the miner does connect, the lumberjack is there, but I think it's able to still get one more hit in.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe Raya will win.
Right. It was so close there. Malinton just barely able. He had a little bit higher DPS going for him there, and that was able to get him the victory.
Yep.
Here for Kicks. What a great matchup between these two teams. Detonation falls to 2-7, though. That pretty much dashes their playoff hopes. But Kicks is putting themselves in a nice position if Ponos falls later today. But that is not our next matchup. No. Nope. We have OP.GAMING versus OGN Entis. Stay with us here for Clash Royale League Asia. Welcome back, everybody, to Clash Royale League Asia 2019 Season number 1. What an incredible game we just saw between Rhea and Malenton.
Oh, yeah.
Great way to start things off here today. This is awesome. OP.GAMING versus OGN Entis, Korea versus Korea next. And then we finish the day off with GameWith versus Ponos in what could be one of the biggest matchups we'll see, possibly the finals. That might be a preview of the finals.
Yep.
But first, we've got OP.GAMING and OGN Entis, and like we talked about earlier, big games here, big matches for both of these teams. OP.GAMING, they're 4-4. They're looking to try to find some way to scratch and claw their way up to catch up to Bren Esports, and not only that, avoid maybe, possibly losing a couple games, and then maybe if Sandbox or somebody catches fire, then they might get knocked out of playoff contention,
Yep.
but right now they're pretty solidly in it.
So we'll see how well OP.GAMING does, because we know that OP.GAMING, they've kind of been switching in and out of 2v2s and 1v1s, especially for Expo. But yeah, we did see Tabong TV at the end kind of smiling at us.
I love the characters we
Yeah.
have in this. They're so fun. They're just always making me laugh. And you got Onion, who's like super serious and super focused. And you got Malenton, who after an incredibly close matchup, puts that hair to the side.
He's filming a hair commercial by himself.
He's got great hair. I'm jealous.
But anyways, quickly to get on to OGN Entis that's going to go up against OP.GAMING. We saw the players, Victor on your screen, always chew gum, he's the man. But the thing is, OP.GAMING, they're 4 wins, 4 losses, right? OGN Entis, they're 3 wins, 5 losses. So if OGN Entis wins, they tie things up with OP.GAMING regarding games win and loss. So especially for OGN Entis, they want to win today. Even though, they're in different groups, they still need the win to start climbing up. So
well, and they're in 4th place in their group because they beat OP.GAMING, who they're tied with, same record. But because they beat OP, they're actually ahead of them right now. This has been a struggle for them. This is Thunder and One Crown, who played well in their 2v2 on Thursday, so kind of makes sense to stick with the hot hand here, see if you can get something going. TNT back. Yeah, he's back in the 1v1, and he's going to be facing the Expo Master. I think OP.GAMING, I think OP.GAMING realizing they need Expo Master in those 1v1s. He's been phenomenal in 2v2s because he's just such a good player all around.
Well,
but they need someone, Yeah,
I'm surprised to see both of them come back, because we know both TNT and Expo Master, especially Expo Master, been playing more 2v2s. Same goes for TNT. He's been sticking to 2v2s from time to time, but we'll have to see how well both of these TNT and Expo Masters do up against each other. They're both good. It's going to be a close match, but also the 2v2s, Uichan and Huni. It's like this. I think this is a new combo, right? Or I think this is a
Uichan and Huni?
Yeah, Huni's never played 2v2 in this season yet, so it definitely has to be a new combo.
Yeah,
so that's gonna be good to see if Uichan and Huni will do the job where Expo Master, step down from the 2v2s to go into that 1v1.
Right. Interesting. All right, let's talk about the bans real quick here. Royal Giant, just so good in 2v2 meta right now, and the Prince being erased here by Thunder and One Crown. Now that one perplexes me a little bit. I've been seeing the Prince being banned over in the Chinese league in the 2v2s, and I think they're just, it's a really powerful card, of course. Put it behind something heavy like a Golem or a Prince, and it has longer range than just a normal melee unit, so it can kind of reach around those bigger guys and really cover them pretty well.
Yeah. You just said put the Prince behind the Prince, but yeah, I understand what you said.
Dog.
I know what you meant.
Yo, dog,
I'm pretty sure you guys also understood it's either, a Golem or a Giant.
Yes. I had that pictured in my head. Like I had the Giant's head, like that bald head. But I said Prince. Yeah. I just like Princes too much.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll see what happens here. I'm especially curious for Uichan and Huni combination here, because we've never seen it work out. Well, we've never seen it, period.
No.
Yeah. And they're gonna. It seems like they're gonna just do that double Lava Hound that we've been seeing over and over again.
Yeah, it looks like Lava Hound stuff here. Will there be a balloon with it or not? We don't know. There's that giant skeleton. Of course, remember, Tornado is here, so this giant skeleton doubly valuable because you can pull stuff into his death bomb. So a little bit of damage done on this push. One of the pups doing a little bit of damage there, and the poison as well here. They have to throw down the Mega Minion.
All right, so if you notice what OP.GAMING did, they sent the miner to kind of pull back the giant skeleton to take the poison damage alongside the baby dragon and the Mega Minion damage, so it didn't even get the chance to cross the bridge. So that was a great play by OP.GAMING, but being answered by the Graveyard and the Dark Prince.
Okay, the Dark Prince is slowed up by the Lumberjack, who of course just barely takes it down, but he walks right into the poison, and these are a lot of skeletons still alive here.
And look at Huni just keep leaking elixirs here.
Woof. All right. Well, let's see if OP.GAMING can turn this around here. This is a big moment for them. They took a lot of damage on that last push, a lot more than they did on their first one. Good giant skeleton placement. That will nullify that miner, and now this push is effectively busted for OP.GAMING.
And the snowball to just kind of season the broken up pups. Season pups. Yeah.
So sprinkle a little salt on them. We're on the food memes today.
Yeah.
Man. Like, I don't know what's going on here.
I'm hungry.
You got one of those burgers, too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so double Mega Minion.
All right, poison, defensive poison, and offensive poison going down. They're trying to do as much damage as possible, and that nice tornado coming through.
Yep, that'll keep a lot of this at bay. Now, here comes the Graveyard once again. There is a poison down for them as well here. That's a defensive poison, I believe.
Yep.
So they didn't have great answers, but this time the poison will help slow that up. And now we've got the big push up on the top right here. The Inferno Tower, though, gets blocked by that giant skeleton who absorbs all that damage for them. And there is not much going to get through for OP.GAMING.
All right, well, that one Inferno Tower definitely did the job on defense, but now the counter comes through. Defensive poison once again, so this is going to nullify, but freeze.
Yeah, the freeze here, they're trying to buy themselves a little bit more time, but the Lumberjack is able to get put down, deal with that Dark Prince, and he doesn't get any swipes up on the top. That Ice Wizard
Ooh, they're not going to give them time. Right now, we saw Oichan and Huni put down the Lava Hound Mega Minion, but right away they answer with the poison and the Graveyard, rather than defensive poison.
They know at this point they can just out-chip OP.GAMING.
Yep.
That's where it's going to come through. OP.GAMING's got to find a way to get one of these pushes through, but they just don't have any great answers for these Inferno Towers that are getting a lot of work done for OG and Entis.
Oh my goodness, and the giant skeleton getting rid of a lot of those puffs as well as a couple of units on top. And they did switch lanes to kind of distract OG and Entis from focusing on that 289 Princess Tower at the bottom right. So, but the thing is,
Poison Log will do it here.
This might have been OP.GAMING's last chance.
Yeah,
they're doing it again. They're doing the bridge spam, but now they're just gonna go straight for that Graveyard and the freeze, and it'll finish the game.
Yep, well done by OG and Entis. Good timings on their pushes, and they're just Oichan and Huni don't have a good answer for those Inferno Towers, and this is something that kind of has been confusing me sometimes in 2v2 when I see a team come unprepared for really unprepared for an Inferno Tower. Poison's okay, but it's not ideal. Earthquake or Lightning is really what you need.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, it almost feels like because of how much Inferno Tower is used in 2v2, like you have to bring one of those two spells.
Exactly. And like personally, when I'm playing just my own games, not watching the actual pros play, like even Zap, I think is still good enough. Like Zap is off meta right now because of the giant snowball, but like some people may think, okay, maybe Lightning's too expensive for the decks that I'm using or whatever, or they're using double poison to chip it down. It's too less elixir compared to Lightning, so it gets the cycle going a little bit faster. It's understandable, but I totally agree exactly with what you said, especially when you're running double Lava Hound, like Inferno Dragon even, not Inferno Tower, like Inferno, anything Inferno, you have to get rid of it. You have to cut it off in its tracks, and that, unless it's an Inferno Dragon, Giant Snowball is not going to be effective on that tower either, so having the Lightning or anything electric is definitely needed.
Yeah, that's kind of the way I feel with the way the meta has shaped up here for 2v2s in Clash Royale League Asia. All right, let's see what kind of changes OP.GAMING's going to make. OG and Entis looking very solid with those timings. And when you're running a heavy deck like Lava Hound or Golem or something like that, when you come against kind of one of these surprise decks like Graveyard or Balloon that, you know, forces you to respond quickly and you've already dumped all your elixir into a push, it can be really dangerous. And we saw OG and Entis make it work there. Game number 2 starts now between OG and Entis and OP.GAMING, a 2v2. Okay. Typically, for whatever reason this season, we've seen teams pretty much stick with what worked.
Oh, yeah. Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it, please.
Just saying.
Don't.
Maybe OG and Entis, they're considering just kind of trying the same thing and seeing if they can, you know, bait OP.GAMING into falling for the same kind of trap there, but this time just a log coming out here to do a little chip damage for OG and Entis and a snowball in return.
I'm going to be honest, the winning team staying with the same deck is somewhat understandable.
Right.
Forcing your opponent to kind of, you know, change decks. But the losing team sticking with the same deck, for me, personally, unacceptable.
Yeah, I don't mind if you stick with the same deck if you figured it out during the break where you said, okay, we need to change our rotation like this, or we need to change up our spells like this. We saw that yesterday with some good games where teams were back and forth because they were able to go in between the breaks and just make a few minor changes to their deck and also how they played the deck.
Oh my goodness. Decks look very similar from game 1. The freeze comes out right away this time. They want to get there early. Oh, the Lumberjack locks on with the skeletons, and the Princess Tower is just gone in the first minute.
Wow. Okay, do they have the answer for the Inferno Tower? There's that giant skeleton to soak up a lot of the initial damage for that Inferno Tower to keep it very, very healthy. And this will be a successful defense. Now up in the top left, though, that Baby Dragon does get quite a few shots in.
Yeah, it does definitely have a blast. I think it got full value out of it on the Princess Tower top left, 1,500. So basically, yeah, they didn't succeed on the right with more units because of the Inferno Tower and the Giant Skeleton, but that one Baby Dragon definitely got its worth on the top left. However, that bottom left Princess Tower just went down with the one initial attack, so it's still there on the back foot right now for OP.GAMING.
Yeah, they're in a lot of trouble. So we'll see. Defense needed to be done here by OG and Entis. That miner gets dealt with. Now this Lava Hound is going to split into the pups, but they're okay with that because they've got the Tornado available. And that is pretty much a nullified push. It does a little bit of damage, but not much. And now they're going to get their own giant skeleton in the pocket. All right.
Big, and the Inferno Tower this time around is ready for OG and Entis.
Just able to get to him with that miner, but they did a decent amount of damage. Down at the bottom, up in the top left, the Inferno Tower is down as well. It locks onto the E-Wiz there at first. Now it's going to lock onto it. A defensive freeze. Nice defensive freeze here to buy time for that Inferno Tower to break apart the Lava Hound into the pups. And now you've got the Dark Prince and the Lumberjack to soak up the damage. Poison's being placed here, but I don't think it's going to be enough damage for OP.GAMING. OG and Entis dabs on them, and that will be it. A 2-0 here.
Wow, a clean win. They stuck with the same deck. Oh my god, like, situations like this is what gets me, right? If you're gonna stick with the same deck, you know, I'm pretty sure in their mind, oh my goodness, you know, something about the what you would call it, the Inferno Tower, right? E-Wiz,
no
Zap, Lightning, anything.
They have an E-Wiz, but you just pretty much always have E-Wiz in 2v2.
Yeah.
And it's rarely actually going to get its zaps onto that Inferno Tower because there's other stuff in front of it.
Yeah. They stuck with the exact same deck.
Yep.
Double poison. They did switch things up a little bit. They let the Lava Hound go with the Mega Minion and the Baby Dragon, and they were willing to sacrifice the Lava Hound to the Inferno Tower. However, what they changed up for OP.GAMING at least, for OP.GAMING, they just constantly used the offensive double poison to chip it down. Instead, in game 1 they didn't do that, right? They wanted to use the perfect timing for that poison value, but this time they just constantly double poisoned the Princess Tower. However, it still wasn't enough, only because they lost that first tower so early.
Right. It was, you losing that first tower just off the gate.
Yeah,
I mean, just right away. This is the first thing that happens here. And again, you just have to wait for that Lava Hound to be placed down, and that's go time for OG and Entis, where they could graveyard and throw a bunch of junk at it and just overwhelm you because you've used too much elixir.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. So here, like, you know, they do sacrifice the Lava Hound. They're going to send another one with the double poison going through now. And, you know, they did this twice, I think, in this game too, but it still was definitely not enough for OP.GAMING to get the Princess Tower down.
Yeah, it's just kind of, you know, there's that old saying, you fool me once, you know, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Right? And
Fool
it's
me
kind
twice?
of, yeah.
Thrice?
Thrice?
No.
Then you're real dumb. Then you're really not a smart person. All right, Expo Master, the return of the king.
All right. Well, the production definitely knows that he hasn't been playing 1v1s.
Yes.
You can see for on his record, he played 6 2v2s, 4 games of King of the Hill, but just 2 games of 1v1. So we'll see if he's still in shape. Obviously, he's been practicing, so he's not going to be out of shape. But still, he's going up against TNT.
Yeah, TNT, he needs to perform here for them. This would be a huge moment if he can get this win here for OG and Entus, secure the match for them, put them to 4-5. That gives them a really good shot to be the team that comes out of Group B down there.
Yeah.
Possibly, you know, now that Kicks just won, especially, these bottom 3 teams in Group B are very grouped up.
Yep.
It's very tight down there. So every win is so important.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, under TNT's name, you know how the production writes a little comment? It says, the only hope to save the team from hell, right? And I was like, all right, so right now, OG and Entus is up 2-0. There's no hell to be saved from, right?
No.
Like, they're already up.
Just they don't want to fall below in the standings. Yeah, that's clever. I like that. All right, here we go. Expo Master in the blue, TNT in the red. And it is a Royal Giant ban here for TNT. Just that unit, very, very strong across the board. And a Baby Dragon. We've seen these a lot just because they're just very powerful units that are kind of complicated to deal with in some ways.
Yeah, we'll have to see what both of these guys brought out here for us today. Especially Expo Master coming out in a while, so we haven't seen him. So,
yo, I have no idea what Expo's gonna do here.
Like he has played the 1v1s twice, but all right, there we go with the Bandit.
Might just be playing something standard. I mean, we don't have the Ram Rider band, so we might see that. But a Lumberjack here, actually.
Yeah.
So Expo Master doing something a little cheeky.
He's definitely mixing things up here with the Lumberjack and the Bandit.
There's a lot that could fit behind it, so we'll see what he's thinking. TNT, he does like the P.E.K.K.A.s. He does like that unit a lot. He plays it a lot, so we'll see if that's what he's sticking with. But no one's really revealed enough to tell us exactly what they're doing. Just a snowball to Cycle, and the TNT responds in kind. Little bit of emote action going on there.
Like, I'm pretty sure these two players have played each other so many times, like just off broadcast, like during practice, or just scrimming together,
running into each other on the ladder.
That too, because they're pretty similar. So, like, the reason for all these elixir leaks is because they know that one mistake or someone putting down one unit a little bit earlier than the other, so it crosses the bridge, that can cost them the game. So this is not a 2v2, right? Oh my!
It's the Magic Archer. Hello,
Magic Archer and the Sparky in response.
I think this is the Ram Rider deck. I just saw this on the Chinese league, and now Sparky, he doesn't mind that, but an Inferno Dragon here placed, and that is a very healthy giant and Goblin Giant in front of it. Something else, you do have the Ice Golem to kite the Sparky, and now you've got the Lumberjack to help take it down, but it gets its shots off, getting a ton of value there, as well as some damage from that Goblin Giant.
All right, so either way, that Sparky getting rid of a couple of units is still going to even out, even though it does not land onto that Princess Tower. And what I saw recently also with the Magic Archer, it can pull the Magic Archer in the opponent's side and place a unit down to activate the King Tower.
Oh, just in time. Getting that Sparky. It was close, no cigar. Now there's a big push over on the right, which is very healthy here. It has a Dark Prince to help, but this Lumberjack is doing some work. It gets one swipe in up on the top left. The Ram Rider connects, doing quite a bit of damage there as well here. In Inferno Dragon's going to get a little bit of damage, but not much, and with that initial wind-up, it takes a while for it to get going.
All right, the Magic Archer doing work as well. The Sparky is put down in response. Oh my goodness, these two decks, these guys.
Actually, this Sparky's going to take quite a bit of damage here.
Yeah.
It is going to end up killing the Magic Archer, but the Magic Archer did its job, and the Barbarian Barrel does finish that Sparky off. So if you can slow it up, you know, you got the Snowball and you got the Magic Archer, you can buy time.
All right, so this is it. Right now, Expo Master, he has to defend, but he also wants to find the timing to use his Ram Rider, right? But now, TNT is not giving him the chance. He's putting down the Dark Prince on the other side to force that defense to come through, and instead of using that Ram Rider, Expo Master has to answer to defend that, and kind of that Goblin Giant being put down in the front kind of tricked Expo Master by using that Inferno Dragon and no Sparky to follow up in the back.
There was a great Snowball in there, too, that knocked the Inferno Dragon closer to the Hunter there to let it finish it off and give that Goblin Giant enough time to do a couple extra swings. So really nice play for both of these players here. It is very much just about even. That Dark Prince will not be able to make it. Another Sparky. We're going to try the bridge spam on the right with the Bandit, but we got the Goblin Giant here to distract with all of that. Now, there is that Inferno Dragon. Gets knocked back by the Snowball, and now there's the now there's the Hunter here to clean it up. It's going to get one more shot onto this Ice Golem, and then I think, ooh, great Barbarian Barrel, but not enough. The Sparky does end up going down. That's a Dark Prince to soak up that raged up, but now it gets the angle. The Magic Archer just clipping into the tower with those first couple of shots. That's big.
Yeah, that is big, because especially we were very tied at the 900th HP on the Princess Tower, but now Expo Master playing the mind game, splitting the pushes, coming through. The Inferno Dragon will get rid of it on the left, but look at that. Ram Rider do so much damage, and that Inferno Dragon on the left is so healthy, but the Snowball will push it back.
Top left
100
here.
though, lightning for TNT, it's over for Expo Master.
Yep, now it's just, he's got to cycle into it. He's got to prevent this Ram Rider. It cannot get in there. Good defense, so trying to buy time here is Expo Master.
He's saving up. Oh no, he's not saving up.
No, he can't. He can't quite yet. He's got to be really careful here.
And now he's saving.
Now it should be GG. That should be the lightning, and
wow.
TNT does it.
So close with some new decks that we haven't, been able to see, especially going up against each other with the Sparky deck and the Magic Archer deck.
Yeah. TNT has not played. I don't think he's played Sparky that I can remember.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good about remembering who plays that. So that's a really nice surprise by him. I think really definitely catching Expo Master a little off guard there.
Yep.
Now, another deck Expo Master has is not bad against Sparky at all, actually, because there's a lot of ways to deal with it built into that deck. But this big moment here when he knocked that Inferno Dragon back with that Snowball, letting that Goblin Giant get some big hits in.
But, I'm going to have to disagree with you about Expo Master having a great deck to counter that Sparky. You're a Sparky player, and do you see any electrical stuff on his deck?
No.
For Sparky, when you say, all right, this deck is pretty good, or, a pretty good deck against Sparky is when you have at least one card that looks like lightning.
It's because you can do stuff like
you can
the
distract
Inferno
it.
Dragon. Yeah, you can distract it. The Bandit's actually quite good against Sparky because it'll shoot at the Bandit while it's dash, and then it doesn't hit it and doesn't kill it. You have the Ice Golem, which is great to kite the shots and buy you time, and the Lumberjack tears into it pretty quickly, actually, if you get it onto it. But yeah, it's still not the best. Like you don't have E-Wiz, you don't have Lightning, you don't have Zap. So, all right, let's see what changes here between these two players. Expo Master trying to get that Ram Rider cycle deck going.
Such an exciting game from just game one of that set too.
Yeah, it's been really, really exciting stuff so far today. Like so many close games, so many good games. A few blowouts here and there, but for the most part, things, especially in the 1v1s, have been really, really good.
All right, well, Expo now on the backhand. If he loses this game too, it's over.
Yeah.
It's Ojanentis did a clean sweep in that 2v2. Now TNT has that upper hand, 1-0. If he wins one more, it's going to be a quick game, especially against these two Korean teams, and pride is on the line. Like I said, Ojanentis, they have to win to kind of make their score and kind of climb up slowly to catch up to Kicks and Ponos, whereas we have OP.GAMING, who can't lose to be brought down and be evened out with Talon sooner or later, because Talon is at 5 losses, OP.GAMING at 4. If they lose this, they're going to be at 5 losses as well.
Yeah, it puts a lot of pressure on OP.GAMING to win at least one more match this season to guarantee themselves a spot in the playoffs, depending on what Sandbox does. If Sandbox loses their next match, then it is basically OP.GAMING, no matter what, makes it into, almost no matter what, makes it into the playoffs here. So, but still, they don't want to be in that situation. They'd rather win this and really secure their position as at the very least, a playoff team.
Yep. Okay.
Well, TNT and Expo Master just waiting things out again, not wanting to give away any information to their opponent about what might be going on in their decks. Interestingly enough, that deck isn't super heavy that Expo Master brought out.
Yeah.
It's decently big. I mean, you have a lot of 4 and 5 cost units, but at the end of the day, it's pretty cheap overall. So I'm kind of surprised he was. I thought he maybe with that. That's why I was a little surprised that it was that deck. Because I thought maybe he'd wait if he knew that he had a cheaper deck.
Yeah, he would cycle through it.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking, because I see a lot of the Chinese players that bring out the Magic Archer usually goes for the cycling. Like, it's not going to be like a 2.6 Hawk cycle, but it's still a cycle with the Magic Archer to constantly get the chip damage, to line the Magic Archer up with the opponent's units. So, you know, I was also surprised that Expo Master kind of took it a little bit slower.
All right, Tombstone this time from TNT, and the guards right in the way as well. Flying Machine here from Expo Master. We're seeing a lot more Flying Machine these days. Turns out it's a pretty good unit, especially because a lot of people don't like to bring out Fireball.
Yep.
Might be Lava on against Lava on, you bet.
All right. This is going to be interesting.
Do we have anything to deal with that Flying Machine on the left? No.
No, he's just going to let it go.
Yeah, I understand. You don't need to worry about it. You rather focus on winning this push on the right, which may be the larger battle in this war here. There's that Fireball, though, from TNT. Yeah. Surprising he saved that. He wanted to wait for the E-Wiz.
Yeah, that's a smart move. No, I would have just used it on the Flying Machine, because it actually did quite a decent amount of damage on the top left. But yeah, that's a great Fireball saved up there.
Smart. It's smart. He gets a little bit of damage, but so far the left side has taken more. Now they're going to try split pushing with their Lava Hounds. Expo Master opting to try the other side. And the Dark Prince down here to try to back it up on the ground, see if it can help with that Tombstone a little bit. Flying Machine having to be used by Expo Master to deal with this. Now that's a great Fireball there to get rid of that, forcing out the Mega Minion. Top left, the Lava Hound is taking on the Tombstone. It takes that down. Now
oh my goodness, that's a huge push coming from the top left. That E-Wiz distracted that Inferno Dragon for a very long time, allowing it to get through even after a double Tombstone being put down by TNT.
Yeah, he was just able to get a miner in there as well to protect against that Dark Prince. So good push by Expo Master here. And TNT's got to try to counter him in the same lane here. So just waiting to see how they're going to back up these pushes. The Inferno Dragon coming in here for TNT, and the Mega Minion is the choice for Expo Master. Both of them putting down their tombstones as well.
All right, so the Inferno Dragon a little bit, far enough back there, so the E-Wiz, even though it's put down, it's not going to be able to do anything. So there's no E-Wiz coming down from Expo Master yet. He's going to save that up instead. The Dark Prince does go through, cleans up the guards.
Yeah, couple pups locking on to the Princess Tower there, so getting a little bit of extra damage in the bottom left. And now
the bridge lava right away.
Yeah, instantly with the Inferno Dragon, but he is in range of the E-Wiz. That's not good. You have to use a miner to distract it, and that's going to let the Lava Hound get some extra damage. In fact, it does get taken down here, but the Lava Hound on the bottom right, very healthy. Looks like Expo Master's going to get this up in the top, and he does take game number 2.
So this, all the difference came from that Flying Machine in the first game, the first push, where it actually landed the shots freely without getting distracted. We thought, we called out that good save on the Fireball after finding out that TNT had the Fireball for the E-Wiz in the initial push on the bottom right. However, at the end of the day, if TNT didn't take the free damage from the Flying Machines, I think he might have had another chance to defend, to go up against, put up a fight. But wow, that's a good game.
Yeah, I think there maybe the Fireball is a little more valuable to be used onto the Flying Machine instead of waiting. I mean, at that point, you pretty much know that there's an E-Wiz hanging out in that deck that Expo Master has, and I get the thinking, and I can't say I completely disagree with it. But in the end, that's a lot of damage from a Flying Machine getting those free hits in. It does hit pretty hard.
Yeah, it definitely does. And I think that, I'm not saying that's exactly the difference that it made, but I think it would have bought more time for TNT to kind of work through if he hadn't taken, 500-600 damage from the Flying Machine to start off.
Right. Okay. That is game number 2 in the books. Game number 3, the deciding game between these two players. Again, if OG&Entis wins this game, they win the match. But if Expo Master wins, we go to King of the Hill. And that was the first game OP.GAMING has won today. So they're trying to see if Expo Master can put him on their backs. Typical Expo Master stuff. He loses the first game.
Yeah.
And then wins the next two.
Yeah,
it's his MO.
I just realized, I was like, oh yeah, so it's Expo. I haven't seen him in that 1v1 in such a long time. I forgot that he usually just loses that first game and then hits back hard in his second and third game. So, all right, well, it seems like you can tell that compared to the game 1 of his emotions and on his face, game 2, he seems like he's a little bit more laid back.
Yeah, he's got some smiles going. It was really well played there. And by both players, it was really quite close, but he ends up vesting TNT in that Lava Hound duel. We'll see what they want to do for the next one. It's hard to predict. It seems like TNT definitely favors the heavier decks, the beatdown decks, whereas Expo Master, well, he'll play just about anything.
Yeah.
I mean, literally anything. We've seen everything.
TNT has used that P.E.K.K.A. Ramrider Bandit a lot, many times. He also sometimes uses the Rascal and the Scale Barrel plus the Miner to do the chip damage to kind of cycle. It's not like a super light Scale Barrel cycle, but still because of the Rascal. But still, he has used that a lot as well.
Okay, let's see what they're going to bring to us in game number 3, second set. This could be match point. We'll see. TNT.
Yeah.
Got to try to do it here for OG&Entis. And meanwhile, the king, Expo Master, trying to save his kingdom from defeat.
All right, well, Bandit. Oh, the Valkyrie. Okay, so this might.
All right, TNT might have switched things up here.
Yep.
This smells like Hog Rider.
Yeah, definitely a Hog Rider. Whenever a Valkyrie comes down, even though it could possibly be another deck, but it's just it's Archer, Valkyrie, Hog Rider.
Yeah, you pretty much know what this one is. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Going through, the furnace is put down. The Earthquake. Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
We're gonna always see Hog Rider and Earthquake just paired up nowadays.
Great Dark Prince placement because it gets the bats as well locked onto him, so it prevents the bats from hitting the Princess Tower there. So, and that is a pump. That is a pump here for Expo Master. He used to ban this thing all the time because he hated playing against it. Now, these days, he wants to be the one playing it.
All right, well, we have the pump coming through. We have seen him play it before. We've seen a lot of pumps coming through from Dabong TV as well. So, we'll see if this pump is going to work out for him, because now you see that TNT, he's not going to use any spells for that pump. So he's just going to get free elixirs all day.
Right. All right. The Battle Ram here from Expo Master. An Inferno Tower, of course, going to be used to defend that with the Bar Barrel to help take care of the Musketeer. And that Furnace will help kite that Valkyrie, but
he actually gets double value. He actually hit the Dark Prince as well as the Furnace with his swing. So that was pretty good.
Yep, just a little bit of a misplacement. He does get the charge from the Dark Prince there. So that's a little extra damage, a little icing on that cake. And we'll see exactly how Expo Master wants to defend these Hog Rider pushes. Doesn't want to use the Furnace this time because he really want that Earthquake in on that as well. Of course, Fire Spirits from the Furnace will wipe out the bats quite easily. There you can see the Bar Barrel, a great counter to the Furnace because you can just roll it right on top of it. Let it do its thing there.
All right, so the Inferno Tower put down early. Because it is a 2x elixir, he wants to just use up as much elixir as possible in the most efficient way.
Yep, Earthquake used to deal with this pump.
Okay.
And it goes to almost no health there. It gets one more elixir, and then it's going to disappear into pink air.
Yeah.
And Dark Prince, once again, blocking that Hog Rider's path with the Musketeer as well. That is a very dead Hog Rider. So Really, really good defense here by both players. No one allowing either of their opponents to get through and do any kind of damage, really. So this one could go all the distance, all the way.
Yeah, the clock could run out, definitely. They are playing fantastic defense on either side. Right now, you know, Expo's card, it could be a 4 Musketeer.
Yeah, the 3 Musketeer. Yeah.
With the
wish
one,
there were 4.
Yeah. Whoa, 4 including the one he has.
Oh, the one he has. I
Yeah.
see what you're saying. Okay.
So we've seen the 4 Musketeers, right?
Yeah.
Not often. Like,
Now I see what you're saying. I'm sorry.
Of course I know it's 3 Musketeers. Come on.
Oh, I don't know, man.
Oh,
no, I know.
But anyways, yeah, it could be. But
We'll
with
see.
the Hog Rider pushes coming through, like, Expo Master definitely doesn't have the leisure time to put down the 3 Musketeers, even if it is that.
He has no opportunity for that. And I think in Expo Master's mind, he wants to just play the chip game and see if he can outdo TNT here, because he doesn't have a lot of other.
Oh,
it's just
the dash!
It's the
It's
minion
a
horde.
Okay, it's the minion horde. Sorry, it's not the.
No,
Not the.
it could be that, but yeah. Usually I would.
Like it could have.
Yeah.
It could have. But
Yeah, you see it a lot.
yeah. Could have. Would have. Could have.
But okay, this Hog Rider is gonna get maybe one swipe. Yep, one knock into that Princess Tower, and now we've got a Musketeer coming up in the top right. And that's a Valkyrie there to counter that.
Yeah, but the Bandit dash landing and getting a couple swings was huge. It was pretty close, and you know, if it was going down to the clock, it was gonna be super close. But now TNT is on the back. He has to come through, and the Hog Rider gets a couple. Oh my God, he's so healthy.
A lot of big hits
So
here.
healthy. Oh my goodness.
Oof, good timing there by TNT, waiting for that minion horde to be placed to spring his trap with the Hog Rider in the Earthquake.
Yeah.
Very well done by him. That counter punch, very important. All right, here we go. Hog Rider's coming down. The minion horde to counter it.
It's still not going to be good enough to, like, you know, melt down the Hog Rider. It does get one swing in.
Yep,
also,
one swing.
So.
All right.
This one.
Oh boy, this is a big push here. What does he have for defense?
Valkyrie and the bats. Okay, that's going to be more than enough to get this. And this counter attack. Oh, but the Bandit put something down. There we go, the bar barrel.
Good timing with that.
All right,
bar
40
barrel.
seconds left. And right now, TNT has the advantage. A couple of, oh my God, even the archers. Oh my goodness.
Oh, and they get it. TNT.
GG.
Woo-woo. Getting it done here. For OG and Entis, a very close match there between those two players, waiting to spring their traps on each other. First, it was Expo Master with the minion horde, surprising TNT probably there with that placement. And that gets some extra damage also because of the Bandit dash. Yep. And then he waits for him to try it again, turns it on to Expo Master with the Hog Rider and the Earthquake, and gets a lot of damage done and is able to take it.
Yeah, so Expo Master was saving up the minion horde because he knew that was one of the heavier cards that he had. And when he first showed it, TNT was a little bit surprised. But the second time that he used it, TNT was ready to counter on the other lane. And that one got the initial, I think, 3 to 4 swings from that Hog Rider, and that was just huge. So, wow, great thinking on the spot for TNT.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done by him to throw the counter punch after taking a pretty heavy hit there from Expo Master, and that is it for this match. OG and Entis saving themselves from possible disaster, keeping themselves solidly locked into that 4th place slot in Group B, keeping their hopes alive to get into the playoffs here for Clash Royale League Asia 2019 Season number 1. Next up, do not want to miss this, guys. Maybe the 2 best teams we have here. Game With versus Ponos. You won't. Stay tuned. This is going to be a good one. Welcome back, everyone. You are looking at the Seoul OGN East Stadium, and this is Clash Royale League Asia, Week 6, Day 2 of the 2019 Season number 1. We are going into our final match of the day, and it is a barn burner, people. This is Game With versus Ponos, two of the best teams in our league, and they are going to square off right now, and I am super excited for this one.
Yeah, this is going to be a hell of a game, and it seems like on screen we do finally have KK back coming into the roster. We'll see if he'll be playing that 1v1 or maybe sticking him into that 2v2. We never know until we actually see the lineup. However, good to see KK on the roster coming back, but we have seen a lot of Rollaporon on the 1v1, so I wouldn't be surprised if Rollaporon comes back out onto that 1v1 as well.
He's killing it.
Yeah, he
in
is.
1v1s. He beat Benzer, he beat Jack, and he beat Onion.
Yeah.
This guy is really, really, really good. I mean, that is he's basically taken down 3 of the top, I would say, like 5 players, maybe. Maybe not. Onion, it's hard to say because he doesn't get to play as much, but when we have seen him, he's been quite good, especially in King of the Hill. Onion hasn't been good in 1v1 sets, but he's been really good at King of the Hill. But, I mean, Jack and Benzer, of course, what more needs to be said? I mean, they're amazing players. So, looking over to Ponos here, Tengad, Reiki Jones, Rad, Kota, and Mikan Boya. We'll see what they want to do for that 1v1 slot. They've been kind of bouncing around between Mikan Boya and Rad.
Yeah.
See how they want to take this. For 2v2s, you know, they're pretty good, but they're not great. They do well.
What do you want to say?
They're fine. they're pretty good at 2v2.
They're pretty good, not bad.
But when Rad has played with Reiki Jones, they're undefeated in 2v2. So I feel like from here on out, Ponos should probably just stick with, there you go, Rad and Reiki Jones in the 2v2 and Mikan Boya in the 1v1. I think that's your strongest lineup you can have for Ponos. And this, I think, here with Rollaporon, he has been so hot lately, just absolutely slaying monsters. Makes a lot of sense to me.
Well, KK is also 4-1 regarding his 1v1 record, not King of the Hill, just 1v1. So 4-1 versus 3-0. I'm pretty, like, it's hard to choose. They're both good, right?
Yeah, no.
So we do have KK there as the 4th player, most likely coming out in King of the Hill if it does go down to that. But yeah, on the side of Game with Royale and KK, the 2 beasts of 1v1ers, kind of waiting in lineup, as well as Yakitori and Yui Hiro. They've been playing 2v2s together so many times. Their record is positive, so anything positive is just always good.
Yeah,
right?
You know what's wild to think about with Game with, and I want to let's talk about Yakitori and Yui Hiro in just a second. Just real quick, it may be that Game with has the 2 best 1v1 players in our league on the same team.
Yeah.
Now, I think Rotoporon hasn't been as good in King of the Hill, but KK is absolutely destroying everybody in everything.
But you can't leave out Benzer. You can't say they're
right,
the
exactly.
2
That's what I'm
best.
saying. Benzer is so good, and so it's hard to say.
Yeah.
But they're quite good. Anyway, Yakitori and Yui Hiro have done nothing but play 2v2 all the time together, and they're 5-3, and they're playing pretty well.
Yeah.
But their games are actually pretty close. They've won 11 games and lost 10, so it's kind of a lot of back and forth for them.
Yeah, but 5-3 versus 3-0. So we have Raiki Jones and Rad undefeated so far as you know when these 2 pair up, and 3-0. We'll see if this continues and becomes a 4-0 today, beating the 5-3 Yakitori and Yui Hiro on the side of Game with, or will Yakitori and Yui Hiro kind of go back and forth and end up winning and giving Raiki Jones and Rad their first loss?
Right. So the big thing here to talk about with the overall picture of the teams and their standings in our rankings is Game with is on top, Ponos is in second. Ponos is looking to leapfrog up. It gets started right now. Game number 1 begins, the 2v2. Ponos with Raiki Jones and Rad in the red. Game with Yakitori and Yui Hiro in the blue.
All right.
And the bands here are kind of, minors gone. That we see that band a lot with the Japanese teams, especially when they play other Japanese teams, because they really like to utilize that minor, so it takes something that they feel comfortable with out of their wheelhouse, and it looks like Golem Prince and a Mega Knight here.
All right, so I've played Mega Knight a lot, like in different kinds of decks. It's definitely a good card. That's why I love it. But when a Golem is coming, especially with the Prince behind it, it's not going to be good. But of course, we do have that Infernal Tower there to make sure it doesn't get any value out of it.
Yeah, so this initial push, well defended. We're just getting some damage done by the poison.
Yep.
And maybe a baby dragon. Okay, there's a Dark Prince there to make sure that doesn't happen. All right, well, this is going to be kind of interesting because, ooh, a Ram Rider.
All right.
So we've seen this in 2v2 from time to time. The Mega Knight paired up with the Ram Rider here. Ponos opting to go for more of a traditional 2v2 that we're used to seeing. Ooh, it gets the charge in there.
Yeah, it does.
Quite a bit.
The log actually pushes back the Prince as well, so it didn't poke it right away.
Well done by Yakitori and Yui Hiro. Of course, the Mega Knight, the jump damage is quite high, 440, so it ends up taking out. But great job with that Ice Spirit placement to kite that Mega Knight away from the Golem, because now all it is the Lumberjack, and finally an E-Wiz comes down. There's the poison there to help clean up the E-Wiz. That tower is going to be very hurt after all is said and done here.
Yeah, this is what happens when you bring down a Lumberjack to chop down rocks. It's going to take quite a while, right? If there was something wooden that was heavy, then yeah, Lumberjack would be fine. But if you have a Golem versus a Lumberjack, it's going to take a long time. And you see the outcome, 259 HP left on the bottom right side tower. All
right, trying to make kind of a different version of these pushes work, and the Mega Knight gets the jump onto the tower there.
Oh, so the Ram Rider is lost behind the Mega Knight. He's too fat. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. All right.
But he still gets it. So.
Lightning does a lot of damage to that Inferno Tower, so this is going to be a half-health Golem for now. Now it's slowly getting whittled down here. The log to back it off to make sure it doesn't get a punch in while it's in its big man form. So 1 tower down, but they do have enough spells available, does Ponos, to take down that bottom right one.
Yep.
So now they need to focus onto the left and find the timing for that spell here. they might even be able to combo it when the Inferno Tower is placed.
Yeah, but it seems like they're opting to save that Inferno Tower here just in case for another quick bridge golem just in case. So they do bring down the Ram Rider to hold the golem in place for a while with the E-Wiz. So it's going to be a very, oh my god, the Pocket Mega Knight, I love this.
Oh my gosh, the Ice Spirit does turn it, but it did get the jump damage onto the tower there. Now the Princes back it off, but that was quite a bit of damage done there, but still advantage Ponos right now. Good Barbarian Barrel there to wipe out those two Princes. And all right, we'll just see how they want to do this now. I like the Pocket Mega Knight. That's really clever there, especially because it makes it easier to get the jump damage.
Oh, and the Prince goes in first, gets the charge onto that Inferno Tower. Unfortunately, the Lightning does not.
Yep, so that is a very dead Golem who will not be able to get to that tower. Having to use a defensive poison here is Ponos, because a big push could be coming through here, but it's just the Mega Knight left after all that.
Yeah, but while Mega Knight is taking the attention away, this Ram Rider, oh, the giant snowball to push it towards the bomb tower. If that wasn't there, it would have locked onto the Princess Tower. Very good snowball coming from Ponos.
Okay, that is a very dead Prince. He's not going to make it. They're going to put that.
Ooh, the Baby Dragon Splash gets
just
one.
the first one.
one.
Just one. Just one.
Just one.
It's okay.
Yeah.
And so they're going to be a lot of Mega Minions fighting each other there. The E-Wiz to slow up this Golem push, getting the Mega Knight down there to help deal with all this too, but a Lightning in here. It's going to clean a lot of that up.
Oh, the explosion damage comes through, and the Golem mites, and now 89 HP.
Log, or poison, or whatever you want to use. That'll do it. All right, Reiki Jones and Rad take the first game here.
Okay.
Really nice stuff from them. Good job supporting their Golem pushes. You can see there where it's really important to have Lightning to deal with those Inferno Towers because so many people are using them these days.
Yeah, that was great. You know, I can't say bad things about GameWith's play either. They did a great job to try to counter it. Like I said, if that Mega Knight was a P.E.K.K.A, would have been better. Even though I am a Mega Knight user, like when you see a Golem and a Prince in the back, and you know you had the Mega Minions on top of that, a Mega Knight, yeah, it's good to distract and do area damage, but especially against a Golem Prince, Mega Knight is not. Yeah, it's okay, but it's not good. There's better.
Right, you'd rather have the P.E.K.K.A there. And I think what the mindset of GameWith here coming into this was that Rad and Rocky Tori, they felt like they might be more willing to do a faster cycle deck, and usually Mega Knight's a better answer for that than the P.E.K.K.A is. So you're kind of playing like rock, paper, scissors here, right? The mind game's trying to anticipate what your opponent is going to do. If you think they're going to run the cycle decks, the Mega Knight's the better answer. If they're going to run a beatdown deck, then the P.E.K.K.A's the answer. Yeah. So yeah, I guess in a way, even though with the Mega Knight being in their both of their decks, they did a great job to kind of contest, and they did get rid of one Princess Tower, right? It was close. It wasn't one-sided, so it was definitely a close game. But Ponos, Reiki Jones, and Rad, they might just go undefeated if they win this game number 2. They just are so good at 2v2s. We are jumping into this right now. Game number 2. GameWith versus Ponos. Ponos takes the first game here in our set, and we will find out if they can in fact just wipe the floor with GameWith here and take 2 in a row. You don't see it very often in 2v2. Usually these teams are pretty good at making adjustments. Finding ways to win the second game if they lost the first. Skill barrel. Now we're getting something very different here from Ponos. Not going to try to do the same thing twice in a row. The Baby Dragon is one of the best counters for the Skeleton Barrel, of course, because it does a good job taking it out. So many units on the right side. Defensive poison from Ponos. Okay. So that'll pretty much nullify that graveyard. And now they've got a mini P.E.K.K.A there, but he's taken out by some skeletons and a Mega Minion. The Dark Goblin is here as well. So this is actually looking good, I think, so far for Ponos, based on what we've seen. That Dark Goblin does lock on there. 4 shots. And the Dark Goblin's a nice counter as well to the graveyard if you don't have the poison available. Oh, another guards aren't bad. Yeah. But the nice thing about the Dark Goblin is he can hit at basically everything in the graveyard and stay outside of that poison. They use a defensive poison. No, I'm sorry, that's offensive poison. Oh, they're going to answer with their own graveyard. So their thought process of planning kind of overlapped. They had freeze. freeze is being a big deal there. The log is used, but it is enough, and now the Rascal Boy getting some hits in.
All right, so in a way, Pono surprising with the freeze instead kind of got a little bit more value, and it also, if you remember, forced GameWith to put down and use more elixir to defend it because of that freeze.
Right, right. Very good point. All right, now they're going to try it, but I think the Rascals come in to help deal with that. A log this time.
All right, so they're going to do their own freeze.
Yep, but this Dark Goblin is just pecking away at these skeletons, preventing most of them from getting any damage in. Ice Wizard here to counter the guards, and at the bridge, it's a Dark Prince. He takes out that Dark Goblin this time. No free shots. The Rascals are a good counter, but the poison being used here to help take out the Rascal and the Rascal Girl. And there is a mini P.E.K.K.A. followed by the Skeleton Barrel as well, trying to get all the skeletons in the party.
Oh yeah, the daddy skeleton is put down right in between the babies. Right?
Yeah, but
he's doing a good job.
He's not happy with them.
Yeah, he's not. He's like, no,
gotta discipline the kids.
Go back to sleep.
And Inferno Tower being placed down here. Now we've got an offensive poison graveyard here, so good timing. GameWith gets a lot of damage done on this push, and now they got to drop a lot of units to protect it, but the Baby Dragon does get a shot onto that top right Princess Tower. Can they find their own push here for Ponos?
Okay, offensive poison with that graveyard. All of the units that needs to be defended to try to defend it as perfectly as possible. Only the poison damage has gone in so far. The Dark Goblin alive, but it's not going to be enough to stop the daddy skeleton here.
No, he goes down.
That was smooth.
That was. All right, freeze having to be used here, but I think there is just maybe enough defense available with those guards there to save this push, but that poison wiping out the rest of the units. So this is going to be really hard here for Reiki Jones and Rad, because it is just a poison away up in the top right. They have to force the hand here. A lot of skeletons getting a lot of damage there. There's the offensive poison. Will it be enough here?
The
There's quite a bit of damage.
The bottom. 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock.
There it is.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Oh my goodness, that RNG on the graveyard at the 6 o'clock and the 5 o'clock, the two skeletons that spawned stuck to the Princess Tower right away, and I think like the 6 o'clock. Ooh, did you see that?
What did they do? I missed it. I was looking at you. The money.
Yeah, the money.
The money.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah, there was two skeletons that got at least 2 to 3 hits per skeleton. So a total of like 6-7 swings or pokes. That's gonna be more than enough with the poison, and that was that was amazing.
That was a really, really close one.
Yeah.
So close once again. I mean, for GameWith, they were one poison away already, but they had to wait. They had to defend that push because the damage can come surprisingly fast from a graveyard, especially with a freeze paired up with it. All of a sudden, there's a lot of skeletons there, and they doesn't feel like they hit hard at 67 per hit, but that's enough, especially when you got a lot of them.
Especially when you don't have the daddy skeleton out to kind of control. Right? Put him back.
Put him back. Yeah. Put him in timeout.
You're grounded. Go into the ground. Go back to where you came from.
Go back to the ground.
But anyways, yeah, that was a very close game, and it was closer, and it was enjoyable to watch because they both had a similar deck with the graveyard.
Yeah.
So like, we can tell what kind of style each players, like each team, opted to play, and gosh, it was just moving back and forth with the offensive, defensive poison.
One of the biggest differences here is that Dark Goblin.
Yeah.
Because, like I was saying, he can hit from outside of the poison range.
Yeah, and not get frozen up.
Right.
As well.
Right, exactly. So I think it's a really smart pick here by Ponos. And even if it's not a graveyard deck that you're going up against, it's quite good against a lot of other things. It has such tremendous range. All right, well, this guy right here, he's been pretty darn good. 3-0 in his 1v1s, 3-3 in his King of the Hills, but those 1v1s, he is absolutely smashing some people and some really good players on top of it. But of course, his opponent will be Mikan Booya, who is a god amongst men.
All right, well, we'll have to see because Mikan Booya, I'm gonna be honest. You say god amongst men, but he's also been struggling in 1v1s back and forth. Yeah, he's had some great days, but he's definitely had the polar opposite of not having great days either. Only great days in King of the Hill, as you can see on the record. Not so great on that single 1v1, but we'll have to see because now he has to go up against Rollaporan, who has been doing well recently. So he's the new guy, the new blood that's been rising up. Mikambuya, he doesn't want to be the old guy. He doesn't want to be the old school dude. He wants to still stay in the game, be able to prove himself, saying that he's still, in the meta. He's still in the game.
Yeah. All right, real quick, a couple of the bans I just want to talk about. We had the Musketeer is banned, so that kind of eliminates a lot of the cycle decks that we've been seeing, especially with the Hog Rider and that kind of thing. And then the Poison being banned. Now, you would think that that might negate, and we'll get into our game here just now. Game number 1 is starting. That might negate the ability to use Graveyard, but every once in a while you'll see somebody do something like Graveyard Freeze.
Yeah.
And I almost called it Frost. I'm like, no, it's not that. It's Freeze.
You almost did, but you didn't.
I know. I got it this time. But sometimes you'll see Graveyard Freeze instead, just kind of like a cheeky little play there.
Okay, Furnace. Mikambuya, he's played a lot of just plain Royal Giant Furnace decks many times. So looking at the Furnace, I won't be surprised if the Royal Giant does come down from Mikambuya.
Yeah, he's been really favoring that this season.
Yeah, so basically he doesn't want to try to get it oh.
It could still be.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is a Royal Giant deck that has Furnace and Goblin Hut.
Goblin Hut, yeah.
Okay,
and
I
think if that's the deck that we saw in one of the China leagues, it could be that 4.8 cost, right?
Yeah. It's a really expensive.
It's super heavy.
It's got like Barbarians in it.
Yeah.
And it's so heavy. It has Fireball. This definitely.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so this one here. I think this is the Golem.
Yeah.
With Rotoporon's deck.
Oh, maybe the Golem one is the 4.8.
So it's like both of these guys were watching the China League. Yeah. Like, all right, we're gonna try what you guys are doing. This looks fun.
Yeah. Well, the Goblin Hut, the super heavy decks, either way, whether it be Royal Giant or Golem, because we do have the Witch on the bottom side, the side of Rollaporan.
Yeah. So there's probably a Lightning on the back end of this for Rollaporan being the other big spell, and then usually you're just going to try to wait this out until we get to the 2x Elixir timer near it. There's a Lightning from Mikambuya as well.
All right, well, we'll have to see until they decide to show us, because for what we know, it should be Golem and a Royal Giant from what I've seen.
Yeah, but Mikambuya with Lightning there makes it a little less likely that it's Royal Giant because it's already a super heavy deck, but maybe. Okay, it is. Okay, usually you see Fireball.
Yeah, and there we go. We do have the Barbarians on the side of Rollaporan, and sooner or later he's gonna have to put down the Golem.
Yeah, it
watch him not put
it
down.
Golem.
But
it probably is.
Yeah, there we go.
There it is.
So this is exactly what we saw in the China League, the Chinese League, and we saw them play this deck, and we saw the average, Elixir. It was like way over 4.5, and we're like, wow, this is a heavy deck.
Yeah, and
they made it work.
It's definitely, I feel, a slight advantage to the Royal Giant player because he is able to get in there a little bit faster with his damage. But up at the top right this time, though, there is a Golem that is very healthy getting through there.
And the Skeleton's coming through as well, and the Witch is still alive. The Mega Minion is following through as well, and the EU is just being put down, and Mikambuya knows that it's over.
So I think I'm really surprised that Mikambuya brought the Lightning with this instead of Fireball. I get it because with a lot of the decks we've been seeing, Lightning tends to have a lot of value, especially because we see a lot of Inferno Towers. But in this case, had he brought Fireball, he would have been able to knock those Barbarians off of his Royal Giant, and it would have been a little bit different.
And I think Mikambuya didn't expect Rollaporan to bring that deck, like the Goblin Hut deck with the Barbarians, because usually, like in the 1v1s, we don't see the Barbarians come out like many times. It's rather we'd rather see an Infernal Tower being put down, or an Infernal Dragon following through for the huge units. But
so I kind of get what Mikambuya did here. He switched up. Normally there's Barbarians as well for Mikambuya's deck, but he switched up with Guards, which is kind of like a
cancel each other
substitute.
Out.
Yeah. Because you're using a more expensive spell.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, it's understandable of how or what kind of approach Mikambuya wanted to take, but at the end of the day, the Barbarians defending against the Royal Giants.
It's one of the best counters to Royal Giants.
Yeah. And the Lightning, Lightning, when you use it, it always gets its value, but still, like, negating any Infernal Dragon or Tower. It's for the Royal Giant. It's still not going to be good enough against 5 Barbarians, so he's not going to use it there. So,
and you're not real happy if you're using that Lightning as much as you would be if it was an Inferno Tower against a Furnace and a Goblin Hut.
So we'll see. Well, now we know that these guys are willing to play different kinds of decks. It's obviously not their first time playing it. That's why they brought it out onto the tournament. They've practiced it. They've seen it. They've seen how other people play it as well. But now, I think
they both surprised each other there.
Yeah.
And they're both probably thinking,
you
guys were watching.
Oh, you saw yesterday's game. All right. You saw last week's game.
Yeah. Well, let's see how they turn it around. It is a timeout here for Ponos. They want to get Mikan Boya all prepared for this, turn it around, see if he can win 2 in a row to give his team the match victory. But Rotopodan trying to save his team from losing their second match of the season.
Ooh.
It would be only 2 losses for them, and that would put them tied with the win-loss record with Bren. And then, but we have to get through this 1v1 in the King of Hill the first.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to see because, we always say this for every game, but every game from like last week is so super important. Like not only the records, but just to climb up the ladder to be in top 4.
Yeah, this is we're getting into crunch time, people. This is Rotopodan versus Mikan Boya, game number 2. Rotopodan takes game number 1. So now, can Mikan Boya turn it around?
You never know.
Oh, I believe in him. I think he's gonna win this game. Yeah. He's just too good. But Rotopodan, man, I don't know.
Yeah, Rotopodan's good. Mikan Boya is very good as well. But it's just, what was and what is kind of different, Mikan Boya this year hasn't been performing too well in 1v1. Yeah, he's been dominating in King of the Hills.
Right.
But 1v1, you have the chance, your opponent has a chance to counter and surprise, right? You have that one extra round that you can play even if you start with the loss.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like Mikan Boya, for him at least, in the 1v1s hasn't been going well.
He hasn't even won a game in 1v1 yet. He's 0-5 right now in games in 1v1, which is really surprising. All right, using the Miner here to make sure he doesn't take any damage from those Fire Spirits. Each Fire Spirit does 178 damage. So that's basically an earthquake of damage from one Fire Spirit to a Princess Tower.
Nice bets. All right, so we've seen this Dark Witch. We thought, all right, so it's gonna be a Golem, but the Lava Hound was put down. I think this was like 2 weeks ago when we saw this.
Yeah.
And
Night Witch.
Yeah, and when the Night Witch actually lands towards the Princess Tower, it did a humongous amount of damage.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. But so far, it looks like Mikan Boya is kind of sticking with the same thing. And this time, it might be maybe a little more effective. We'll see. So far, it's the same identical deck. And he can, I think with the Lava Hound there, okay, he's going to put the Royal Giant in the back and try to build up a big push. There's one Fire Spirit getting in there. It's pretty hard there. The Spear Goblins, 67 damage from those spears, so they hurt a little bit. About as much as it's the exact same amount as a skeleton, actually. Okay, there are those Barbarians. Now he has the Barbarian Barrel, which isn't bad, but I don't even think he's going to get one shot. Nope.
Not good enough.
And Rotopodan really has a good read on Mikan Boya. He knows he loves the Royal Giant, bringing those Barbarians each time.
All right, well, there we go, the Lava Hound with the...
But this time, I don't know if he's going to have it in cycle.
Night Witch comes through. Yeah, the Barbarian is definitely not going to be in cycle. The Royal Giant, great split push comes through, and it's going to get a lot of hits, but the Pups as well is going to get a couple hits on, but not good enough because we have the Goblin Hut and the Furnace just producing and producing. It's going to hold the Baby Dragon and the Night Witch off for a very long time. Baby Dragon will lock on and get a couple hits, but right away answer with the Furnace.
Yeah, so Mikan Boya with a nice split push gains a slight advantage here. Now, Rotopodan, knowing that it's a lot more difficult for Mikan Boya to push the same lane as him, wants to switch it up to force him to do something different here. He doesn't have the same amount of defense. A Fireball coming out here to help get rid of some of those buildings that Mikan Boya has. A defensive Lightning here, wiping out a lot of the offense here from Rotopodan. The guards coming in to deal with this unit push here. There's
oh my goodness,
Barb Barrel,
so many units.
The Night Witch. That is a lot of damage being done on this push.
So one thing that I want to point out, for especially for Mikan Boya, he had the Lightning for a very long time. He was waiting for Rotopodan to put at least one kind of building down or some unit that's worth Lightning with the Princess Tower. but he hasn't been putting. Roller has 0, building. So
the Night Witch is
so now it's like he has to use the lightning defensively, and we've seen that being done. Now once again he uses that.
Oh boy, those bats are locked on up on the top right, as well as those pups. This is a lot of damage being done here. Mikanbuya in a lot of trouble, and that'll be it.
Wow. 2-0. Roller on a roll.
He's 4-0 in 1v1s. This guy is crazy good. He just takes down Mikanbuya. Just insane stuff from Roller. He is absolutely on fire here in Clash Royale League Asia. And now you got to go to a King of the Hill where you've got KK and Roller available. That's disgusting.
Yeah. That is just disgusting looking at the lineup, and KK is coming out first. So yeah, KK hasn't, he hasn't played 1v1. Roller has been for him, and now that he's back on the roster, now that he's here on the stand, he wants to go out first for the King of the Hill and maybe possibly just sweep a 3-0.
Oh, he could.
Yeah.
Oh, he's only lost one King of the Hill game. He's lost one King of the Hill game.
Yeah. One.
That is it.
Not set or not winning streak and then getting like just one single.
Right. He's won 6. So this is a tough battle here now for Ponos going into this. Again, I'm surprised that Mikanbuya went for the exact same deck again. I mean, I kind of get it because you're trying to trick your opponent into thinking, okay, I'm not going to play the exact same thing. But he did, and just Royal was very ready for it. Again, the Barbarians make it so difficult to use that Royal Giant if you don't have an answer for them.
Yeah, so I was talking about the lightning in the middle because I was thinking the same thing, where if Mikanbuya just decided to change the lightning and just bring the fireball, it would have been a little bit smoother than it had been in game 2. Like game 1, you won't know, what's going to happen. So yeah, I understand losing game 1, but in game 2, bring the fireball to protect the Royal Giant rather than, you can still fireball the Inferno Tower if your opponent decides to bring it. It won't be as effective as lightning, but still, just in case, I think Mikanbuya maybe switching the lightning to the fireball might have been, made this outcome a little different.
Sure. Okay, here you go. Here's the lineup and the bands. KK, Yui Hero, Rhoda Podon, Raiki Jones, Mikanbuya, Kota, and the bands are Barbarian Barrel. For game width, that makes you feel like they're going to want to play a lot of cycle decks and that kind of thing. That's what we've seen when that's been banned in the past. And the Baby Dragon being banned here by Ponos. And that's just kind of, they don't like to play against it, so they just kind of want to get it out of the way. It's such a versatile unit, is the Baby Dragon. Talk about it a lot, being one of the stronger units you'll see. Not getting any nerfs or any changes in the next patch, though.
Yep. Nothing's gonna happen, and the Barbaro being banned, we've seen the Barbaro being banned from time to time. It started all with Jack.
Yeah, mostly Jack.
Yeah, Jack usually just bans it all the time, uses the log, and he tries to do the spell bait.
Yeah.
And because he's a cycle player, it has worked out very well for him. I think he started that on that 5-game win streak day, and we're like, all right, Barbaro, constantly being banned, and even in 1v1s as well as King of the Hill. But either way, the Barbaro being banned, the Baby Dragon being banned, now we have the Miner open, we have the Tornado open. So now we're gonna be playing some chip damage games, I think, if they decide to bring those 2 cards out.
Yeah, it definitely feels like we're gonna see some faster paced games here, but you never know. Someone might try something, give us a curveball.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can always play, P.E.K.K.A. Ram Rider, which seems to be the most popular deck in the world right now. He's all over the place. Every time I turn on Clash Royale, it's like P.E.K.K.A. with Battle Ram or P.E.K.K.A. with Ram Rider is so popular right now. It's really hard to defend against, getting those split lane pushes. And the Ram Rider is great because if you have something like Hog Rider or Balloon, it slows that up with the snare. And
the hardest thing about the split pushes coming through is because you have to think fast on the spot.
Yeah.
That when you mess up, you're done.
Very true. Game number 1 of the King of the Hill begins now. First up, it is KK versus Raiki Jones. It's been a while since we've seen KK in action. Is he rusty? Probably not. He probably plays this all the time. It's the beautiful thing about Clash Royale and mobile games. You can play them anywhere you want, pretty much.
All right. Furnace being put down. It would be funny if KK decides to play Mikanbuya's deck.
If there's a Gob Hut that comes down.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's not even Mikanbuya's deck, I guess. It's been played in other regions, but just him playing the same deck and making it work would be kind of satisfying.
Right, exactly. All right, there's a log.
It's not gonna be the same deck.
Probably not. into the dash. Didn't do any damage. Yeah, it was negated there. Fire Spirits, this is almost definitely a Royal Giant here for Game With. Almost definitely. And there is that Battle Ram that we've been talking about.
Oh, right away. Followed up by the minions. So the Mega Minion is going to be there to cancel that.
Yep, zap to allow that Barbarian to get one swipe in, but the bottom right was the bigger story there.
Yeah, the Dark Prince actually goes in and gets a couple swings in. Damage is done, 1900 left.
Yeah, that's pretty significant. A pretty significant start there for Reiki Jones. If Reiki Jones can knock KK down, that actually is that's huge, and that opens a big door here for Ponos to take this match. We'll see though. This is so hard to beat Game With in a King of the Hill. They just don't.
Oh, the dash actually lands. So the 3 Fire Spirits connect, but right when the dash procs, the Princess Tower, you know, the arrow gets negated and the dash connects, and that's huge.
So what you can do there with those Fire Spirits, instead of placing them up at the top, you can place them by the tower and bait the bandit dash in. Then all you get is like a bandit hit.
Yeah.
So you could place the Fire Spirits a little different to prevent the dash damage, because but you're still going to take damage from it if you just use Fire Spirits to defend the bandit. But it's only going to be a hit, not a dash.
Yeah.
But this time with the Ewiz there, it's plenty.
But the dash still does come through to the Ewiz, so.
Yeah.
All right, there we go with the P.E.K.K.A. Finally, it's time. Split push that we were talking about. It's going to be hard. One small mistake, one unit on the wrong side is going to cost the game. And this left side looks huge. No, it's GG. Left side is huge right now.
Oh, he had to drop it. You can see KK knows that this is pretty much it. There is nothing left here. Boom. Just a couple Mega Minions. 10. There is the poison chipping away, and that will be it. Reiki Jones with the upset here, taking down KK. Just too much.
It's been 2 weeks since KK came back, right? And we know KK as one of the stronger players of 1v1 and King of the Hill. The day he comes back, he loses.
Yeah, you can see he's pretty frustrated with that. He's played so well in this league, but sometimes when you're gone from something like this, you forget what it's like to play in front of an audience. You know, to be on stage, to be on camera, and all those kind of things actually do kind of affect your mental state somewhat.
Yeah.
But great play here from Reiki Jones.
All right. GG. This is King of the Hill. So now we're going to have you, Hero.
Look at this. There's just so much. There's a bandit getting a dash in there on top of all this awfulness for KK.
So, like, see, the sad thing is that you see it, you know how to defend it, you just don't have the elixir.
Right.
Right? Like, in your mind, you're like, all right, I need this to get a dash. I need this to get the P.E.K.K.A. to make it dumb, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But you don't have. You look at your elixir count, you have like 4.
Right. Right. And you're like, oh, nope, can't do it.
Nope.
Too little, too late there.
Yeah.
All right, so next up is Yui Hero. Has he played? He's played one King of the Hill and he lost to Kichiya-san.
Well, he is like the designated 2v2 player on Game With. Nobody else other than Yui Hero and Yakitori have played 2v2. So like, they basically have him as a 2v2.
Yeah, they're basically just expected to win that 2v2 and let Roller Poron or KK stomp in the 1v1, which they tend to do. So they don't even need to necessarily go to King of the Hill. But here we go. He's got to do something here. He's got to find a way to defeat Reiki Jones. Reiki's really good. I mean, we've seen him a lot across the Clash Royale League Asia days. In 1v1s of various situations, being quite skilled and doing quite well, so it's not surprising at all. Now, he hadn't won any games in King of the Hill this year until then, but he did win his 1v1 set that he played, so.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. So, like, once again, for both the teams, a lot are on the line. If Game With loses this game, they drop to 7-2, which is going to give Brand Esports a chance to kind of win their next game and make it 7-2 and tie things up. And for Ponos especially, if they lose, they're going to go under Kicks because they won today. They're 6-3. Ponos being 5-3. If they lose, they're going to be 5-4, which is going to bring them under Kicks.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why this is so important for Ponos, because they want to stay in that second spot. Kicks really put the pressure on them by winning earlier here today. So Reiki Jones versus Yui Hero. What will Reiki do this time? Is he just going to stick with the P.E.K.K.A. Battle Ram? It is pretty well-balanced deck. Nope, 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 definitely not. Furnace. Snowball there, take out the fire spirits that come out of that furnace, because you don't want to take that damage. And there's an ice golem as well. Bandit.
Bandit will go through and the next.
Whoa, whoa, you gotta be careful. Ooh, just in time. Good placement by Yui Hero there. By the narrowest of margins. Musketeers are allowed this time. They were banned in our 1v1 set, but they're back. So both players bringing out a Musketeer. Yui Hero, this is...
Ooh, the Musketeer will connect 2 shots, so...
That's a big deal.
That's pretty big. Ooh, and the Barbarians in the back.
Okay.
Split is coming through. We have a pretty similar...
They're pretty similar.
Yeah, they're pretty similar so far. The Ice Golem and the Bandit are the only different things. So we'll see. The splits are even. It's going well for both sides. Right now, Yui Hero took a little bit more damage with a couple fire spirits, but the graveyard coming through from Yui Hero.
Okay, there is a Musketeer.
Oh my
there,
god, so many skeletons was connecting. Oh my goodness, if that snowball hadn't been used.
Yeah, that would have been real bad, real fast. Poison, of course, on the back end of this. Now for Reiki Jones, though, I don't suspect. It could be a graveyard there. And we see Furnace paired with it sometimes. But no, there's a pump. So that...
I'm thinking for Musketeer.
Yeah, now
it's a possibility.
Yeah, with that pump, it makes it pretty likely. It could also be that Expo.
Yeah.
Remember that? We saw that? We're like, what?
Yeah.
But probably with the Furnace behind it, most likely the 4 Musketeers.
Oh.
Nope.
Okay.
It's that battle ram. This time they don't want to do it. No one wants to do it.
Yeah, we have seen it come out, but they're not going to stick with it.
Yep, the battle ram. Minion Horde, of course, the other option behind all that. There are a lot of Barbarians taking out that Ice Golem and that Musketeer, but some damage being done here. A couple swipes coming in from those Skellies. So slight advantage so far, Yui Hero, and there's a big, big push coming in here from Reiki Jones with all those Barbarians. Okay, the Ice Golem is down here, and that will buy them quite a bit of time, and that should be a dead Barbarian there. Split pushing now on the left with that Bandit. It goes right into that Furnace.
Oh my goodness, and the Musketeer helps him take it down right away.
And a Fire Spirit got in on the left side. And now
all
it's another
on the left.
big one. All right, able to snowball.
But if you notice, Reiki has taken a little bit more damage. Yeah, he's coming back and doing some chip damage as well. But if this continues...
It's dead even right now almost. It's so close. It's so close, because those pushes that Reiki is able to set up on the left with the Battle Ram and the Minion Horde are just big enough that the Minion Horde is able to get in and get a couple swipes.
But now we do have the Musketeer in the back. Before we didn't. We just had the Giant Snowball to push it back. But now we have the Musketeer to kind of finish the job, not get any chip damage in.
The timing a little off on that push that time because the Minion Horde was quite a bit behind that Battle Ram. So they weren't able to get in there. They allowed a little more breathing room for Yui Hero. The Furnace comes down right away. There's a poison this time. Very good poison. That'll clean all that up. That is a really smart play there by Yui Hero to switch up to the poison, because that basically nullifies the entire push.
He wanted to not allow Reiki Jones to get any chip damage, hence the poison. But now he's going to go with the graveyard. Defensive Barbarians. This is going to be more than enough to defend it.
Ooh.
A couple shots, actually.
That RNG was quite nice.
That HP was going down. Now, okay. Giant Snowball will push it back.
Yep, okay.
Now we have the huge split push coming through.
Yeah, this is a lot of Barbarians trying to get through here. Another Elixir Collector goes down. So this is 2 big Elixir Collectors built up here for Reiki Jones. Will he be able to take advantage of all that extra? Yes, that is a dash that lands there from that Bandit, and a couple hits as well.
Yeah, and now he has 2 working Elixir. We're in overtime, so 2x Elixir as well from just a regular game. Reiki could just literally start spamming 3 Elixir Collector now. He's just pumping and pumping.
Yeah, the poison will be there, but that will give Reiki Jones the opportunity to try to push with this Minion Horde. Good Ice Golem here as well as a Musketeer to help block this, but a few of those minions, just in time, he gets the Furnace down. But that gets taken out. Now there's a couple healthy Barbarians that want to run at this tower and do some damage. No, he just does one hit.
It's still going to get the dash.
Bandits.
Oh, the Ice Golem.
Good Ice Golem there.
But this shows that you know, right now with Raiki Jones had 3 elixir collectors for a moment, and he's pushing Yui Hero back, not allowing him to do any damage. But the graveyard
gets a lot of damage, and now there's the poison down here. Those minions explode. A couple hits. Oh my goodness, this is so close. Raiki is down to 569. He has 20 seconds left to find a way to get one of these Princess Towers down below that amount to win here. Of course, it comes down to Princess Tower damage now, and he's going to have to get it done on this push right here. Raiki shakes his head, though. I think this might be it. I think this might be GG. Don't think they're going to be able to get close enough. No, that knocks the bandit back, and he will just barely lose to Yui Hero. So Yui Hero taking down Raiki Jones. Trading blows are these two teams. Not too surprising. These are both extremely talented teams. And Yui Hero getting a big win here for GameWith.
All right, well, we saw the elixir pump, and actually the elixir pump's not being distracted too much, except for a couple times by the poison. At one point, we saw 3 elixir collectors start pumping elixirs, and Raiki was just having a blast, split pushing left and right, and he was getting some damage out of it onto Yui Hero's Princess Towers. However, Yui Hero started to find out how to split, how to defend, and he was able to kind of counterattack after defending with the graveyard to find the timing. And also, you mentioned that RNG was kind of on his side.
Yeah, there was a couple moments where those skeletons grouped up in very beneficial ways up in the corners. I think the biggest change that I noticed here from Yui Hero was that he used poison defensively against the barbarian
and the minion horde.
Yeah, the battle ram and the minion horde pushes, and that was a lot to nullify that entire push for very cheap. You know, that's 9 elixir coming down, and he can basically stop it. He's already got the furnace down most likely anyway. And then he can use 4 elixir of his own to stop that push. So I think that was a really nice change-up that he made there. Now he's got to go against this guy, though. Mikan Booya, probably looking for some revenge. He can't be happy after getting 2-0'd there.
Nope. Now his record for 1v1 is 0-3. But if you get into the details, he is 0 games won, and all of the rest of his games are losses. So that's a huge loss, not just, you know, in sets, but in games as well.
It's extremely surprising.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy has been an absolute monster in this league for a long time. And this season, he hasn't been able to find it. I think maybe a little too stubborn there in set number 2.
Yeah.
Sticking with that same deck. So see what he wants to bring here in game number 3. And Yui Hero, will he try the same thing as well? Is he going to stick with that Golem deck? I'm sorry, the Golem and the Graveyard. There was an Ice Golem in there, but a Graveyard is the more important key thing going on in there.
Yeah, we'll have to see, but, you know, even though I did talk about Mikan Booya's 1v1 saying that he's unable to win a single game, but you did also see his King of the Hill. King of the Hill, this guy has been winning, so he's not nervous about the King of the Hill. It feels like he has the mentality to kind of play the King of the Hill well, better, and he feels as if he's jinxed for that 1v1.
Yeah, let's see if that's true here. Mikan Booya versus Yui Hero, game number 3 of our King of the Hill. Yeah, I really don't know, but I think Mikan Booya should be able to turn it around here and get at least 1 win.
Yeah.
For Ponos, but we'll find out. It's been a struggle for him this year. Except he's done okay in 2v2, but
yeah, his main 1v1 has been a very big struggle for him. But the 2v2 and the King of the Hill has been okay. So now we're in King of the Hill. Maybe
I mean, if you would have told me going into this season that Mikan Booya would play 3 matches of 1v1 and not win a single game,
make a bet,
I would call you an idiot.
Yeah.
Expo.
All right, Expo.
Archers coming down here for Yui Hero.
The Mega Minion gets a couple swings. All right, the Expo just gets
just like 2 pecks.
Yeah.
2 bullets. Just a little kiss. Just gives it a little kiss. Snowball will be able to back off the Musketeer there so it doesn't get any shots in. So we'll see which version of the Expo Mikan Booya wants to go here. Is he going to have the Elixir Collector again? We've been seeing that a lot from these Japanese teams. I really like it. Yep, there it is.
All right.
This is the new flavor. Oh, boy.
Yeah. If you notice Mikan Booya playing, he speaks to himself.
Yes, he does talk to himself.
Yeah.
He's a very animated player. And Yui Hero, we can't even see his face.
Yeah.
He's buried in that thing.
Like Yui Hero's face, like since you mentioned anime, you know, like the bad guys, like they have half their face covered by the shadows. It's kind of like Yui Hero, what he's doing. Like his face is covered by the shadows, so you can't see. It gives that it gives off that dark aura. And then Mikamboya, he's a good guy trying to figure things out, talking to himself. He's like, what am I gonna do about this deck that he's coming at me with?
That's actually pretty accurate. Oh man.
Yeah.
That's super funny. All right, well, we don't want to say that Yui Hero is a villain, though.
Yeah,
We're not trying to imply that. It's just kind of how it looks. Yeah. All right, pretty sure this is probably a golem from Yui Hero, although it could also be a Lavang, actually, now that I look at it again. But we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what he wants to put behind this.
But most likely, Yui Hero is also waiting for that next elixir.
Something big is coming down behind all this, exactly. Maybe he wants to use lightning on it. Maybe not. Now that you're in double elixir, it's not as important to be nuking down the elixir collector. There is the golem.
Golem is put down. The defensive expo.
How does it fit through there?
Yeah, I know, right?
It like gets absorbed into the king tower.
Yeah.
Okay, defensive expo being used here by Mikanbuya, and he's got some barbarians in the fold here as well to try to help clean up.
And the Tesla pushes 3 barbarians over the bridge.
And now they're getting hacked up by this very healthy.
Oh my goodness, this is actually not looking too well for Mikambuya. The Golemites, even though the Golem do get into the Golemites, it's going to tank all but the barbarians.
Just get the barbarians down. I mean, the Golemites get a couple swings in, but not much damage has been done by Mikambuya yet. He hasn't been able to find a time to get the expo, and the problem becomes if he drops an expo, then there's a golem that can just be dropped to soak up the damage. He has to use it defensively like this.
Yeah, he definitely has to use it defensively, and it won't be too much of a negative because he had 2 elixir pumps, now just 1, but 2 elixir pumps working for him. So even with the golem, even with the defensive expo, with the split barbarians, Mikamboya will not be behind in elixir. There we go, another
This is really smart. This is what we saw.
Oh, it locks on.
This is what we saw Benzer do in this situation. He waited until he could get 2 expos going. And now there's a lot of damage being done by that expo. This is absolutely turning the tides here for Mikanbuya. Great defense up in the top left as well. This is very well done by Mikanbuya. A very good changeup by him. He's got the Tesla there, so it will drag that golem towards it. The defensive expo as well being placed.
All right.
So he can just play defense for now. Slow down this push and then find the moment to get his offensive expo going again. That is golem dead. Golemites are very hurt. They will take down that expo with the help of the lightning as well.
Yeah, and that one Golemite goes the wrong way or the other way. But either way, Mikambuya, there we go. He's just going to go straight
we're gonna get Furnace or, golem. He has the golem in cycle.
Mikambuya, you saw his face.
Yeah, he's not happy about that.
Yeah, he's not happy, but he should have expected that.
Yes, you got to be careful with that. You're hoping that he doesn't have the golem in cycle, but at that point it was too long since he had played a golem, so of course it's there.
But still, it's a great defense with the barbs, not distracted too much.
Yes, and now if he has the expo in his cycle, he could drop it.
There we go.
Okay, now he's got a little bit of help for it. Yes, the Furnace going down here to protect against the expo, trying to buy time to get a golem in. He should be able to do it. Yes, there it is. The golem comes down. The expo locks onto that with the Musketeer. The Musketeer getting taken down by the Princess Tower here, so this will be...
but the archers lock onto the expo, unfortunately, and it'll go down.
Yeah, but the Barbarians, can clean that up. So far, actually, Mikambuya is a little bit ahead. And there isn't a whole lot of time left here. Only about 20 seconds to go. So he's got to keep, Mikambuya has to keep the pressure on so that Yui Hero can't use his lightning offensively.
He has to use it right now with the expo. If he wants to tie things up, I can't do the exact calculation.
Oh, the Ice Spirit got the damage there. That's huge.
Oh gosh, yeah, now that's not.
That keeps it. Yep, that keeps it out of lightning range. Just squeaking out of victory is Mikambuya.
Yeah, if that Ice Spirit didn't go in, I think the Giant Snowball and the Lightning would have. It could have. I actually didn't get the exact calculation, so I don't want to.
Yeah, it's impossible to do that calculation on the fly.
Exactly, but I still have to say it would have been super close.
Yes.
Like Yui Hero might have had a chance.
Yes.
But either way, at the end of the day,
that Ice Spirit getting the damage was huge. That Ice Spirit It's not much.
Yep.
But it's not insignificant.
Maybe we get to see it.
Oh, yeah, we will. Oh, definitely. So this was really smart stuff here by Mikanbuya, and this is right out of what we saw. We saw Benzer do something similar, where he uses the Expo defensively to start and then finds a time when the opponent's a little weak, and is able to get his Expo on the offense, get the lock on, and get a ton of damage done there. That was the big moment here. He was able to get that. The defense was great on the left-hand side. The Tesla and the other Expo do so much damage together in conjunction. And even with the lightnings, it's just not quite enough. It was so close.
Yep, that was super close. But either way, Mikanbuya coming back into the King of the Hills. He wants a revenge match against Rolaporon, and he will get it.
No kidding. And if he wins this, then it's Ponos' day. And they dash the hopes of Game with giving themselves a significant lead in Group A. Well, this is, I don't know. I mean, definitely Mikanbuya cannot play that deck again. He can't play that Royal Giant deck again. It's just,
oh my goodness.
you just can't. You got to try something else. I don't know. He played really well there. Maybe you could try a Mortar deck. You know, he seems to be good with these types of things. Well, he's good at everything, of course. I mean, he might go into his old wheelhouse of playing Minor Balloon. That's what he's famous for. Hard to say.
We'll have to see, but you saw Rolaporon's record 4-0 for that 1v1, and one of the ones being Mikanbuya. Now he wants to win at least in King of the Hills, just one match to just redeem himself. You know, tell you guys, tells the viewers, tells us that he's still in the game. If not, there still is Kota, but either way, Mikanbuya, if he loses to Rolaporon again here, that's just going to be 3-0. 3 straight losses for Mikanbuya from one player in one day. That's going to hit him hard.
Yeah, that's not something you want to have happen to you in competitive Clash Royale. Usually these players are so good, they're able to trade back and forth quite a bit. Every once in a while, you see somebody do something special like Jack go 5-0 and that kind of thing. Mikanbuya, of course, has been quite good in these King of the Hills. That's another win for him into that column, and now he's looking to close it out here for Ponos, but a timeout from Game with. They want to make sure they talk this over because it could be match point here if Rolaporon falls to Mikanbuya, and I'm really curious to see what Mikanbuya does. Rolaporon, there's a lot that he could go for. We've seen him play 2 different decks, so he's a little bit more of a wild card here, but Mikanbuya, I really want to know what he's thinking.
Yeah, Rolaporon literally just plays every single deck. Like, he played a lot of the heavy decks as well as the Hog Rider Cycle deck. So, like, there is nothing that I can say that he prefers this a little bit more, because from what he's played, at least in this league, you know, he's just everywhere.
All right, here we go. We're getting into game number 4 here. Rolaporon with a rematch against Mikanbuya. You know, we haven't really seen any Cycle decks with with the Barbell ban, which is a little surprising, but you know, it's still just a really strong card. So you ban it just because you're annoyed with going up against it.
And also no Minor yet.
Here we go. Now we're getting it.
Yep. Getting the Hog.
All right, just a Prince here. And a zap for Mikanbuya, so 1 hit.
Minor. There we go. As I say, we haven't seen the Minor. He brings out the Minor right away.
Yep, there's a poison as well. Which version of the Minor Prince will this be? There is one that sometimes runs a balloon. Does he want to go into that? We'll see. But there's others that's just like Inferno Tower and some other stuff behind it to play defense. And you're just trying to win by out-chipping.
Yeah, the Inferno Tower being in the back, it wouldn't be a surprise, to be honest, with the Hog Rider and the Earthquake also, if Rolaporon has decided to bring the Earthquake here.
Right. Yeah, there's most definitely an Inferno Tower in Mikanbuya's deck at this point. But maybe not. Maybe not, because that's a Giant.
All right, so Giant Prince deck so far from what we see here, but Rolaporon, I don't know, he's been chipping away with the Hog Rider.
I think this is the 2.6 cycle here from Rolaporon. And this is double Prince with the Minor and the poison here from Mikanbuya. And that is going to be a very dead Giant.
Ooh, nice zap, and the Minor will get a lot of value this time around.
Yeah, now he has to worry. The Dark Prince just in time with that Ice Spirit to drag it over. Hog Rider is going to get a swing in. Prince cleans that up, but yeah, that was a big move there from Mikamboya.
Yeah, that miner got so much damage onto that Princess Tower. Royale did put down the skeletons, but it was definitely not fast enough. And also, Mikamboya gets rid of that with the zap.
Right. Really good job there by Mikamboya. Great reaction to what was going on. All right, a Dark Prince is not the ideal. There you go. There's an Ewiz as well.
Yep. So let's get one swing, though.
Yes, yeah, one swing. But not the ideal counter. You'd rather have the Prince there. But they want to put the Prince on the push behind the
big
giant.
one.
Yep, here comes that miner as well. What kind of defense does he have for it? Not much.
Yeah, you can just look at his elixirs and the cars that he's just
too much
through.
There's just too much here.
Oh my goodness, the Prince connects.
Oh my gosh. That is
Mikamboya.
a tower down. Mikamboya. All he has to do is defend for 20 seconds. I don't think there's enough here for Game With to turn this around. He's going to try. The Ewiz comes down immediately to slow all this up. That Hog Rider only gets one hit, and that will definitely not be enough. Mikamboya with the huge turnaround here. He is psyched.
He is happy. He gets his revenge. You see him clapping, just scream. Look at him. Oh, finally. We get a smile from him with the V for victory.
Great performance here by Mikamboya in the King of the Hill once again.
Look at his teammates being happy for
putting
him.
the team on his back in a critical moment, and this keeps them ahead of Kicks in the standings, I believe.
Well, they're tied regarding match wins and losses, depending. Let me see if
I don't remember who won when they played each other. That's like where I think Ponos did, but I could be
haven't.
wrong.
Oh no,
they had to have played.
All right. Well,
you should be able to figure it out by looking at the results. They won. Oh no, wait, no, that's Game. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Kicks, yeah, they beat Kicks.
Yeah, they beat Kicks. So yeah, even though their match wins and losses are the same, Ponos will be on top. They'll remain in the second place position depending on how Chaos Theory does in the next games to come. But unfortunately for Game With, now they're tied with Bren Esports. So now they're Game With and Bren Esports, they're both, well, not both, but they're 7-2. And depending on how Bren Esports does, they might become 7-2.
Right, exactly. So
look at all the right side.
Huge moment here. Yeah, the right side. The red side was your winning side today.
Yep.
If you're playing roulette at home, you go bet on red. Win for Kicks, win for OG and Entis, and a win for Ponos. So couple big wins here, especially for Ponos and Kicks, keeping each other neck and neck. OG and Entis turning things around, giving themselves a real nice shot, possibly to make the playoffs here. And Game With, yeah, it'll be interesting. They really want to keep that top spot, of course, because then you go right to the semifinals. But so far, we'll see. All right, Game With 7-2. So if Bren wins tomorrow, then it is going to be real interesting.
If Bren wins, they're both going to be 7-2. But Bren Esports, I don't know if they've beat.
Did they defeat? Were they the ones?
I'm trying to look for that right now. But either way, we do have so many teams at the top, at the middle, at the bottom, kind of with the same record, and the head-to-head is deciding whether they are on top or the bottom. So, yeah, it should, like, I expected this when it, got nearly to the playoffs and to the finals, because, all these players teams play just once, and, that one win, that one set win, the one match win is just huge.
Yeah, it makes such a big difference. It's why every match matters so much in the Clash Royale League. This is what we got going on tomorrow. So Bren versus Fav. Fav now in a dangerous position because of the results that happened here today. Because OG and Entis won, they were tied in win-loss record. That is a lot of pressure on them to beat a very, very good Bren Esports team. Talon looking to stay in the playoff hunt as well, going up against Kingzone Dragon X, who is not having the best of seasons. They're 2-6, so it is basically do or die for Kingzone tomorrow. So really, really important matches going on tomorrow. You guys don't want to miss it. It's going to be really good games, as they have been all season. The games are so good this year in Clash Royale League Asia. Everybody is so good, and you see these players make great adjustments. We saw Mikamboya get bopped in the 1v1 set, and he's able to turn it around and win 2 games in the King of the Hill.
Yeah, and he came back. He got his revenge. However, I figured out that Game With went up against Brent Esports, and they were able to win. So even if Brent Esports win tomorrow, makes the game matches tied, Game With will still be on top.
Gotcha. Okay, guys. Well, that will do it. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you tune in tomorrow, Sunday, 7 p.m. Korea Standard Time. That is it. Have a great night, day, or morning, wherever you are.